Welcome back. Love Boat Project, episode number 81. I am Mike Robertson, joined as always by Mike Taylor. Mike, was this the best or worst episode that you've ever seen of Where in the World is Carmen Santiago?
Number one, great question. I'm going to answer your question with a question, and that is, how many hydration breaks do we get this evening? How are we doing that?
Well, here's my first one.
That was my first one. Cheers to that one.
I hope the nutmeg is well grounded. So.
Ooh, look at that. Topical. Well, I've got World Cup fever, so why not go to the Caribbean?
Yeah, we certainly went back to the Caribbean. I would say after episode 2 this season, which felt like a frantic two-parter, this somehow was less frantic, but also somehow more Travel Channel documentary.
No kidding. It's so weird though. Like, just to go back to the Caribbean this quick. It's just an odd move to me. 2 out of 3 weeks they're on the island princess or whatever the hell it was called.
I totally understand shooting 2 while you're down there to make it worth your while, and maybe in a non-strike situation they would have banked this one for later in the season, because it did feel very like on top. It was like a companion piece to the one from 2 weeks ago, and it did answer some things for me, and it made more sense logically, but also it's like, did we need to have yet more Panama? We got more Panama Canal facts than we did last time.
A lot of facts. If you want to know about the locks system, holy cow.
I will say, and we will obviously get there, but I will say, if you don't count Act 5s, which are always a little weird, the Act 4 in this thing is maybe the wildest ride of all time.
It's
just so many different things going on right before we get to be continued. But
it's wild. We're about to go on a wild boat ride here, Mike. This was something special.
Get your steel drums. Ooh. We are here to talk about season 4, episode 4, the Mallory quest, the offer, Julie, the vamp. Ugh. Which talk about the most tacked on storyline.
Just I feel like she went to somebody and was like, look, can I get something other than heartbreak or like little,
they gave her. It almost felt like we have a lot of location shoots here. You just never really know. So here's what we're going to do.
All right.
We're going to fill up all the time with the 2 main storylines, and whatever is left, we will write around it with this terrible Julie the Vamp storyline, because
it'll take about 6 minutes to explain this Julie the Vamp thing from beginning to end.
I think it went like in real time, like an hour between scenes, and then they did like back to back to back.
And then there was nothing to it. It was just like, what? It's so weird. So weird.
But that was definitely not the main thrust of this episode. And I will have a question about that in a second here, but let's do the synopsis. Passengers receive a free cruise, but there's a catch, Mike.
There's always a catch.
They must also search for Brian Mallory's missing nephew. Speaking of the Mallorys, Janet Mallory tires of her husband's poor treatment, finds comfort in the arms of Dr. Adam Bricker.
Oh boy.
And boy, did we get an episode of Bricker tonight.
Quickly. That episode started quickly too, right in the beginning. Just one of the lines of the year, perhaps.
And I will also say, I'm going to say, and also say is a lot, maybe my favorite scene since we've been doing this episode is since we're doing this whole project was in this. One of my 3 or 4 favorite scenes ever is contained in here. This is a weird one.
I wonder.
It's got to be,
because one of my favorite scenes is in this of the entire project so far, and I'd love to know if it was this. Well, I'll let you know if you let me know. All right.
Maud thinks that Julie's trying to steal her fiance Roger, who, by the way, sucks. And speaking of sucks, well, not anymore. Merrill receives a lucrative job offer from his good friend Charlie Dillinger or Dillingham or Derringer. I have him in here like different
I heard
ways.
4 different names.
It's Dick Van Patten, everybody. Original air date, this is Saturday, November 15th, 1980. This is the 8 to 10 spot. We are still, as we get into what else is on, we are still in a very weird post-strike world where some shows are kind of established, a lot of movies. Whither Chips, Mike?
Yeah, where happened to Chips? That was a staple of Saturday evenings.
Chips, if you remember, last year won the Saturday night ratings. They were the highest rated Saturday night show, taking the Love Boat throne. I'm not saying I don't know. It's also possible that NBC, which is pretty much the worst network at this point, just didn't think ahead. So maybe Chips just isn't ready yet. I have no idea.
Or maybe they did like because Tuesday night was a big night for ABC. Maybe they threw them on a Thursday to who knows.
Yeah, I refuse to look.
I don't know
yet. I refuse to look yet. But at 8 o'clock, they went with what is only like a special games people play.
What? Okay.
Hosted by Bryant Gumbel. Couldn't find a lot on here, but it seems like it's celebrities and regular people kind of doing like kind of one-off event type things or whatever. Like, hey, it's Darren McGavin playing badminton or stuff like that. So it was only on 6 times.
Looking for my crickets sound effect.
Yeah, it was hard to find.
Crickets?
It was hard to find a lot of details.
How is that a TV show? I mean,
I
that's
think
more like an
I think it's a
article.
TV show and a strike, and I think it's also just NBC. I get the feeling, because this is the bad NBC year, and we will get to that later. You were probably going to see some weird stuff from NBC here in 1980. So
great.
On the other network, CBS at 8 and 8:30, it's what we've had, WKRP and the Tim Conway Show. KRP is one I remember. It's Herb Tarlick's family gets on a reality show. I kind of do remember that one.
Wow, a reality show in the 80s?
I think it was a knockoff of, remember that Albert Brooks movie where the robot cameras kind of follow him around?
Yeah.
I think it's basically that.
Interesting.
And then 8:30, Mike, I was able to find out who the guest was.
Who's
on the Tim Conway Show. That would be Jonathan Winters.
Oh boy!
So imagine they didn't even have a script. Episode. I'm guessing with that one.
They just that would be terrible. 30 minutes of them just cracking each other up in a very subtle way. But yeah, okay.
The post-strike world has taken away a lot of the fun ridiculousness because we have 2 pretty high-powered movies here going against each other. On CBS, High Noon.
Oh, okay.
Gary Cooper.
Great movie.
Grace Kelly. But not as great as the movie on NBC. It's part 3.
With the Georgia Peaches?
No. It's part 3 of the first movie. It's not part 3 because nobody would want to see that. But Godfather? It's part 3 of Mario Puzo's The Godfather. Oh. So it looked like in the synopsis, it basically starts right after Michael kills Sollozzo.
Oh, right in that restaurant.
Like, I think they probably ended part 2 with that.
Oh, what a great way to cut part
and
for TV.
And it looks like it ends with, and I can't remember if Sonny gets killed first or if Apolloni gets blown up. But my guess is they end with one of those 2 based on kind of what's referenced here. So
fantastic.
Pretty good night. I was trying to line up some of this terrible second hour of the Love Boat with The Godfather to try and figure out where we were at. Yeah. And then one more note, we rarely go here, but tonight was the season 6 premiere of Saturday Night Live.
Oh, okay.
Hosted by Elliot Gould. Mike, this is a very famous season because this is the first one after the Not Ready for Primetime Players and Lorne Michaels left, and it does not go well.
Who was running Saturday Night Live that year that he wasn't there?
So I believe, I'm going off memory here, but it was Jean Dormont, who I guess had worked on the show,
right?
And they were fired towards the end of this season. That's how bad it went. And Dick Ebersol took over, and that's eventually where you got Biscopo and Eddie Murphy.
That's interesting. I remember the Dick Ebersol, but I couldn't remember who. Interesting. Who? So who was on the cast? Who was on the?
So this is, I think Piscopo's the only guy who actually survives from this season, but
Right.
I might not be right, but it's like this is Gilbert Godfrey, this is
Okay.
Charles Rocket, this is Denny Dillon. Like it's
Robert
a
Downey
very
Jr.?
no, it's way
Because that's
before
later
that.
on. Because
Like
when he was I'm just
right,
looking for.
yeah.
I'm thinking for oddball
No,
cast members that
they
don't.
basically nobody that you think of as Saturday Night Live makes it because they fire almost everybody. It's that bad.
Wow.
So hosted by Elliot Gould.
Wow.
Who was still a big deal at that point. So.
Huge deal.
Yeah. All right, credits, and we got a lot of them. We have a lot of them. We got some Kernsings. Pack of lunch. All right, Sorrel Book or Boke, whatever. It's Boss Hog. Playing
is that a
one of the
Cajun
best.
name, do you think? Is he like? Is that he seems like
Sorrel,
he might be Cajun.
Which name? That name or Lucius?
Oh, Lucius Kurgo. Either
Kurgo?
or. Lucius Kurgo sounds like the guy from like Cape Fear. You know what I mean? Like gee, but Sorrel Book is just quite a name.
Shockingly, his only boat. Disappointingly, I would say.
Ugh,
he certainly chewed the scenery. Although we'll get to his end game as a villain. I don't know
so dumb
about that.
It's so dumb. There might be an award in his future. Yeah, not a good one either.
Of course, he played Jefferson Davis, Boss Hogg, for 146 episodes of The Dukes of Hazzard and 20 episodes of The Dukes cartoon, which I do not remember.
I don't remember that either. Interesting.
Bart Braverman, who plays Roger Markham. This is his only boat. He was best known as being Robert Urick's sidekick on Vegas.
I know of Vegas, but not.
I never saw Vegas, but I honestly, I mainly know it from when we had Urick on all those times.
Didn't James Caan star in like the remake? That wasn't there like a remake of that?
Scott Caan starred in something that was close to that.
It was like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Scott Caan.
Bart ended up being a pretty popular match game guest as well.
Okay.
Can see why
with the match game.
I like the match game. I didn't. It was
wow.
Julie did the best she could on this one, man.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting one. Gail Honeycutt as Janet Mallory. How old do you think she is, Mike?
Ooh.
At the time of this episode.
I'm trying to place her whole husband's age and acting accordingly there. I know I'm going to be way off. She looked young. I'm going to say she's 31, 32.
So she's 37, but I agree with where she looked young at points.
Yeah.
Didn't look young at points. Acted young at points. Acted old at points. It was very hard to
tough
keep
to get
her.
Engaged.
It really was, and I don't even know what that was about. This is her only boat. She played. She was around this time. She was in both the Return of the Saint, which I had mentioned earlier was initially a Vincent Price vehicle.
Right.
So she was in that. She was also in something called. Let me see. Lost my spot already. We're off to a hot start. She was in something called The Man Called Intrepid, which
what, Uncle? Is this a ripoff of The Man from Uncle? Is that what that? I don't understand. The Man from Intrepid, Man from Uncle.
The Man Called Intrepid is a period piece. It's from World War II, where a Canadian billionaire or millionaire or whatever uses his own money to help the Allies by setting up an espionage system.
And I'm assuming this money's all from syrup. This is all Tim old Horton. School syrup.
It's actually
money.
Tim Horton. It's David Niven plays Tim Horton.
Pancake batter. Sure.
Yeah. Maren Jensen is back as Sharon Patrick. This is her
Can I just say, this
second
is a
and final
weird
boat.
story. She was weird in this boat. She was kooky. I would go out on a limb and say she was kooky.
They never did anything to really make it. And in fact, the more they did it, the worse it got in terms of
it made
kookiness.
less sense. It's just
I don't think there'll be a repeat, but we've had some strong contenders. But she won along with our guy Cole. What's his name? Dennis Cole.
Yeah.
They won worst storyline for season 2 with Poor Little Rich Girl. She was more effusive and more energetic and had more of a personality in this one, but this was weird.
But it was like in a weird, non-existent. Yeah.
So we had mentioned this last time. She is with Don Henley at this point, and once she's off Battlestar Galactica, she kind of stops acting. She's in a couple Don Henley videos. That's actually her last credit, is like something from like 1985 Don Henley.
Nice.
Her final non-Don Henley credit, which comes after this and after Battlestar, is something called Deadly Blessing.
Ooh, hello.
I had to rewrite some of this because it was a weird synopsis. But when a former member of an Amish-like cult is accidentally killed in a tractor accident.
Oh, okay. I'm in. This goes right into the hopper already.
Well, wait till we get there. Wait till we get there. His widow suspects that the cult has nefarious intentions for her. Okay. And this baby stars what has to be an incredibly young Sharon Stone. It also stars.
Wow.
Okay. It also stars. Okay, pack in now. This is where we get to justify watching this.
Okay. All right.
Susan Buckner, who you may know as Kim from the Horrible Hansons storyline.
I do remember that, the MMMBop
last season
episode.
The woman who played the social services director for Vicky's Custody.
Oh God, yeah, okay.
The great Lisa Hartman, who has been in two doozies already, and just to really put a button on it, Ernest Borgnine.
Oh, of course. Of course he's in it. Oh.
This thing is on Tubi or Pluto or something. We could do this if we choose.
Wait, let's do it. Let's throw it. We need to build an actual an actual hopper to throw these names in it. I'll get right on that. Get my welder out.
Peter Lupus plays Dave Porter. This is only boat. Go ahead.
This guy's friggin' wardrobe, man. I was going to wear one of his shirts and I decided against it.
That mesh top in the beginning is amazing.
What are you doing?
It looks like the thing that they used to have in food stores, like that would have in the seafood aisle, that would have like, it would just be like decor, and they next to a wheel.
Starfish would be in there. Yeah. Yeah, this guy. I don't even know how he got a credit for this. He didn't really. He just mumbled a few words and.
Well, they were giving those credits out pretty loosey-goosey, to be fair.
He deserved a Kernsing, in my opinion, this guy.
So he was on Mission Impossible, which is more your ballywick than mine.
Yeah, I could see him on Mission as a giant villain.
But he was a regular. He must have been a good guy villain, or a good guy like strong man or whatever.
Hope he wore a different shirt on that show.
I assume they had to wear jackets. Maybe just wear like a sleeveless jacket.
Even a jacket, I don't think would cover up if he's wearing that Fisherman's Wharf net shirt. Come on,
Mike. He lived the gimmick. He holds the Guinness record for oldest man to ever bench 300 pounds.
How old was he?
Well, when he was old, I don't
26.
know.
Like, did they give a number? Or...
He was 48 during this, so he's probably in his 70s or whatever. It was like in the 2010s.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if this was like...
no, it wasn't like the night after he recorded this.
Yeah. On his 24th birthday, he recorded. I mean, the guy was clearly in shape. It was just, it was wild is sometimes in some camera shots, he was sucking in his stomach so hardcore. Like he was almost trying to pose and act at the same time, which,
Well, I mean, based on the two, what would you highlight if you were him? Based on what he was bringing.
That's true. Excellent point.
Among the titles he won in bodybuilding were both Mr. Indiana and Mr. Indianapolis. So
those are big titles, Mike.
I cannot answer.
Indiana's a large state.
I cannot answer any questions about the specifics of those titles.
Wow. They have an NBA team and an NFL team. So, I mean, they're a big deal in Indiana.
I think the thing was he had to lift up an Indy car. That was probably what it was.
He had to drink X amount of milk, too. We need you to. It's all he drank for years.
He had to lift Jim Neighbors.
He got his protein from whole milk. Mm-hmm.
Lonnie O'Grady is back as Maud Victor. This is her second and final boat. Of course, she was plagued by the Big Ragu's Stages of Love back at the beginning of last season.
Wasn't that nominated for worst storyline? I feel like I nominated that for worst.
That might have been a you one, so it was pretty bad. That whole episode was pretty bad, honestly.
It was. That storyline was enraging, but yeah.
Is Enough wraps up in 1981. There ended up being two reunions in 87 and 89. She did not do much, and as we mentioned before, she died young, which is sad.
What a shame, man. What a shame.
She was... It's a terrible role, so I'm not even going to say anything. It was nice to see, though. She was the complete opposite of her last thing, which I will always give somebody credit for, like, okay, two completely different things, but
right.
There was nothing.
Right. Yeah, there's nothing there.
The star of this episode,
I mean,
probably based on
I can only think of one.
Yeah,
Skip Stevenson. Oh no, my bad.
We'll get to Skip Stevenson because we are inducting a new.
I got a lot of questions about this guy.
I have a lot of answers. I might have listened to a comedy appearance by him today.
I'm ready to. God, I love that guy. Yeah,
Pernell Roberts. Amazingly, his only boat appearance.
So
he was on.
What's the Trapper John? Was that from MASH? I was so confused, but I didn't want to look, and I've been dying to ask you.
So he appeared on 151 episodes of Trapper John, which is on currently as this happens. Trapper John was set in, I think, present day, whereas don't forget, MASH was obviously set in the Korean War.
Right.
And I think it was that he was a doctor in, I want to say, San Francisco, and it was just a doctor show, I think. Trapper John is 100% a show I never saw, but growing up, you would see the commercials on CBS while you were watching, like, I don't know, cartoons or the football or whatever was on. Yeah. Weird story. According to IMDb, which who knows, he beat out two big names for that role. John Forsythe, who of course would go on to be in Dynasty and was currently Charlie's Angels.
Great voice, that guy. Yeah.
And here's the weird one. Wayne Rogers. Who played Trapper John on MASH. That must have pissed him off. Something
like, fierce. Wait a minute. It's named after me. How do I lose? And I lose to Pernell friggin' Roberts?
Yeah.
Can I just say as another thing too? I think I'm over the limit in saying the word hopper this episode, but I do think that just for general purposes, maybe we throw in an episode of Trapper John MD.
I'm sure we could find one of some relevance.
Just randomly, you never know when that'll come in handy.
Well, the thing is too, with these shows that are now active, like there's also a world where they're going to end up on Saturday night, right? I mean, things move around.
I think so. Sure.
So, in addition to that, of course, he was in 202 episodes of Bonanza. He played the oldest Cartwright. Looks like he left under contract / this is, there's nothing going on here. I'm
tired of playing a cowboy kind of thing.
I'm the last Cartwright. So, but our second Bonanza.
That's right.
I don't know that we would get Michael Landon. That almost feels like too big, and I don't know who the other guy was.
No. I don't know. Yeah.
So, all right, Walter Slezak plays Marcel Locksmith.
What a great name.
This is his only boat. In fact, this is his final credit. This one, at least, is related to his health. I guess he stopped working towards the end due to health problems. So,
yeah, poor guy.
Yeah, well, it's worse. But look up Walter Slezak if you want to see how it ended. But yeah, he was a big time actor. And Michael.
Yes, sir.
He played a Batman villain in the TV show.
Was he King Tut?
He was not King Tut, but he was a king. He played the Clock King.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I don't even know if that's a legit comic book thing, but
he got a 2-parter. The Clock King did. But yeah, wasn't that great? Wasn't that great an episode?
No, that doesn't sound like a good one. But I'm gonna have to go back.
Now here's our guy, Skip Stevenson. All right, first of 2 boats. He will be back in season 6. Mike, your questions.
Good Lord, he had a hard time talking over those dentures. Number 1, more of an observation. Number 2, Mike, why do I know this guy? Why do I know him? Was he a broadcaster? Like, why is there so much ADR in his voice? How many packs did he smoke a day? Like, I need everything.
He definitely comes from the Christopher George school of larynx. But so it's funny. I had similar questions. I was like, this guy is pretty good. I have no idea who he is. Like, he seems to be able to handle the weight of a lead role. He's got a voice that won't quit. What's happening here? So he was a comedian. Of some note, I found some clips of him on Carson. So he at least was that big a deal in the 70s.
Interesting.
He later, neither would I. I was actually very surprised by that. He later would also be one of the hosts of Real People. So I don't know if that's maybe where
I know. That's where I know him from. Okay.
He does not have a ton of acting credits. In fact, these are some of his last. So like, but it was, as we've always said, they treat the comedians pretty well on here. And I get the impression he might have been maybe a bigger deal at the time, comedy wise, than we knew, or this is literally from Real People. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it was, but just the name and like the promo picture I'm looking at of him right now is just all Skip all day. Like it's the teeth, it's the fun smile with the mouth open, that's the side part. I mean,
watching his little bit on Carson, it's a lot of, boy, these people in California are weird, and here's a lot of like, it was like one-liners. It wasn't bad, and it held up a little bit. But I just had no idea what to expect. So
I'm a fan of this Skip
I very much
I don't know.
Too. Yeah.
I was a big fan. I was excited.
I thought he was far better than a comedian or non-actor should have been in that role. And thank God he was, because that thing needed somebody to ground it.
There was nothing with that storyline at all. But yeah, absolutely.
And now here's a series of former Stubby nominees. Connie Stevens is back. Her third of 7 boats. She'll be back in 5, 6, 9, and the series finale, where she plays a character. Interesting. I almost feel like if you play a character, that's actually the indication that you're the biggest Love Boat all-star. I think Tabak plays one too.
She's great. I mean,
she really
this isn't the greatest episode, but you give anything you give her, she's going to do the best she can.
Jonas said it when we talked about her last year about just being the pixie dream girl or whatever.
Yeah.
And it is like it makes me so confused what they were going for in that first episode, where she was none of those things.
Right. And the second one was great.
She was great. In the second one, she was fine in this one. Again, they just didn't.
She was fine. This story was terrible.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder, out of all of her appearances, like at the end of the line, I wonder where, you know what I mean? What's her strongest performance? You know what I mean? Early Connie, late Connie.
It'll be hard to beat too, because she had so much to do.
Yeah. And she was perfect. She was energetic.
I feel like that second one was so good. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. She's one of my favorite guests.
DVP is back.
God bless him.
DVP is back as
Is he no longer
Charlie,
a senator, Mike? No longer a congressman.
Mike.
This is
He was a
booted out of Congress, and now he's doing this.
Second boat out of 5. He will be back the next 3 seasons, but he's done after season 7, which is surprising. I thought you might see him a little more at the back end. I guess he was like, Julie's gone, I'm gone.
Right.
His final episode, and I think we maybe have talked about this before, his final episode that comes in season 7 also stars Rue McClanahan, Alan Thicke.
Great. Oh, wow.
Michelle Phillips.
Okay.
Cesar Romero.
Oh.
Betty White. And Carol Channing.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's going to be amazing. On paper, it's going to be great.
Right, exactly. Listen, by the time we get to season 7, I think we'll be grateful to have that many people we know.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
We'll at that point, we'll be counting down till Julie leaving and whatever the hell happens for a while. So, he of course was nominated for Horn Dog of the Year in season 1 as Congressman Wickham. Finally, as far as the portals are concerned, Jimmy Walker is back as Marvin Jones. This is his 4th. Congratulations. I believe he is only our second 4-timer.
He gets a jacket, I think.
Who's the other 4-timer? 5's a jacket. I think it's
5
Juliet.
A jacket? Okay.
I think it's Juliet Mills.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not saying we haven't missed another one, but I think that might be it.
I do think so too.
We have a lot of 3s. I know we obviously get more, but right now I think that's where we're at.
Think about the 4th season.
Yeah, unfortunately he's been on one every season, so he doesn't even get the Iron Man shot. So he is only back one more time. That's in season 8. He was nominated for the same thing that Connie Stevens was last season, Most Improved. That was on.
Can we take that away from him now? Can we just take that away
now?
That
was your nomination, not mine. So.
Oh, boy.
Non-portals. Patty McLeod is back as Miss Lottie. Of course, she is the real-life spouse of Gavin MacLeod. Do you think that it's just like, it looks like every other episode that she's in is like another one of these 2-parters where it's at an exotic location? Do you think it's just like Gavin's like, I'm bringing my wife, 100%. Give her something to do? So
100%.
1000%. She wasn't even in it as much. She wasn't even in this one as much as the last one. So
she just wanted to go through the Panama Canal again. And here she's a canal buff.
That's fair.
Good for her.
Plus, she wanted to show everybody that she'd calmed her hair down a lot from that wild,
thank God,
frisbee wedge that she had in season 1.
Nuts.
So, I'll skip him. Okay, Christian Robley.
Ooh, I didn't even see him on my list. Who is this?
Oh, he plays Tom Mallory. Spoiler.
Oh, I have him as Greg Robley.
Well, he was Greg at the time. He is now Christian. So he's changed his name. I guess maybe from all the attention he got for this Dynamite role.
He just wants some peace. Everyone in the world's looking for him. He does, enough's enough. No wonder he changed his first name.
So for a second, I got really excited because this is not his only episode. And he was listed as a steward. And I'm like, wait a minute. Is this the guy in the blue windbreaker? Is this a stubby nominee?
Oh,
but it's not. It's not. He was a steward in the Jerry Stiller Charo episode from a couple seasons ago. So couldn't remember a notable steward at that point. So he was probably just background.
Oh,
it looks like he's also a makeup artist and maybe like a production kind of guy. So I get the impression maybe he was just around, especially based on his acting. So
yeah, he didn't.
He had the line delivery of someone who was voicing over somebody. So
that's odd, and that's all he ever did.
Uncle Brian. And finally, stepping out of his comfort zone, James Dobson.
Yes.
as the priest. Of course, this is Anderson the Steward, 2-time Stubby nominee. And it's funny because he's going for this affect of like passive. It just sounds like Anderson, but like lighter. It's just
right.
It was
He has
so
to be
weird.
just slightly different.
Yeah.
He can't be Anderson the father, like Father Anderson.
Right. So I don't think any of these guys were Kerns. I would say Tom Mallory probably had to be plot Kerns if you had anything. But they also, to be fair, had like 68 people in the credits. So if you're ever going to get away with it, this is probably the episode.
Well, let me see though, man. How many times was he Anderson the Steward?
There's one more.
4.
We'll have one more.
So he's on his 5th appearance.
It's 4th because one of them was a 2-parter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
I'm not counting Anderson the Steward as a 4-time club member, but yeah.
Let me just stop production on that jacket for him. Hold off.
But he will be back. He will be back one more time. We have one more as Anderson, or sorry, Andy the Steward on that one. But so we'll get him one more time, which means
I'm an Anderson fan.
Which means, knowing us, probably a 3-time Stubby nominee.
Yeah,
by the time we're all done here.
Yeah.
So we'll not be getting one for this season, I would say.
No,
sorry.
No, not at all.
Sorry, Father.
Sorry, JD.
Anything else before we get on the boat?
No. I think we covered. It's amazing how many guest stars were on this episode. Let me just say, it was just like, holy crap.
But this felt, as we get on the boat and Julie is basically, welcoming all the passengers, it felt so less chaotic than the one 2 weeks ago.
Oh, the marriage-a-thon where everything was,
They obviously, right. And it just makes me not, because clearly they did both of those at the same time, I would think, right? Or very close to each other, because they're doing all their Caribbean stuff. So why were they going for this, that this thon was so wild that no one could go below deck? Because this felt like a normal cruise, right? Like, if anything, it was too empty. It went the other way. It was like the deck was very empty.
But that's how it should be. It shouldn't be absolute mayhem when the ship is boarding, to the point that the captain and Vicky are just surrounded by mobs of people. Like what? Like it's the prisoners running the prison. You can't, like, there's no order.
It looked like the end of Trading Places. Like, it was just
no kidding.
People were just getting run over.
I was thinking the same thing, and I was like, okay, this feels more like a real cruise than that, whatever that was last time.
It made that episode so much odder in its own way.
100%.
All right, like I said, Julie's saying hello to a bunch of people, and then finally we get Brian and Janet Mallory come in and they greet the crew. Steubing introduces everybody and lets them know that this is a 2-week cruise through the Panama Canal, which I appreciate. Thank you very much, Meryl.
No map this week, though, Mike. No
map
for explaining it.
No map and no cell, because Brian Mallory's like, I read the brochure.
Dude, this guy.
Ouch.
This guy just wakes up and he's just an asshole. As soon as he wakes up, I'm Brian frickin' Mallory. But they waste no time in establishing who this guy is, which I gotta respect it.
So, might as well just do it here. So, they came in so hot and such a villain that I was like, they're going to ruin this because they're going to have to redeem him. But they went so far in the villain. I think they messed up the math. Like, he was such a absolute villain to the point where some things happen, and then and it's like at one point I'm just like, well, if they keep him like this for 2 hours, this is the greatest. Apologies to Natalie, this is the greatest villainy of all time. I don't think they're going to keep him like this for 2 hours.
Oh, I didn't want to.
And it's impossible to redemption, right? Yeah.
I was cheering. I mean, popcorn in hand for this guy, just like, keep on keeping on. Let's just stay the course. Let me have this for 2 hours, and just put a stamp on this episode, because I don't even think we were 3 minutes into the episode, and the guy's like, just already Getting sassy with everybody. Good
You're all
Lord.
terrible. He asks very mysteriously if this is the only place that people can board the boat. And Gopher's like, I could ask if I could, help you out. And he just leaves. He's just like, so he's
got no time.
Doc says that's a strange bird. Gopher says he loves her, hates him. Julie is stopped by a very eager and little desperately over-aggressive man named Roger. Turns out it was an old college mate. He's like just,
He's
hey, you see the old gang? He asks her like 10 questions, and Julie legitimately is like, I'm very busy right now.
I don't think I've ever been that excited to see anybody. Like, it's just odd. Like, that was just an odd level of excitement.
Well, and it's funny because they only hit it in like a passing way at one point, but Julie does say to Steubing, she's like, I barely knew this guy in college.
Yeah, he's being a weirdo, man.
He's being very weird. Plus, while college is not that long ago, it's the thing we always talk about is if you're not looking for somebody, and Julie doesn't even look the same as she did in season 1.
Yeah, like 2 exactly. This guy's just.
Julie's like, I'm busy, but I'd love to get together and chat later. And his fiance is like, oh, I'm sure you would.
No, you didn't.
And this is a very aggressive accusation of jealousy, like in your face, sober right away. So Maud's got some problems.
I just kind of feel like Roger is kind of the scumbag here, where he's doing this thing to make her feel like this whole thing is intentional. His weird acting towards Julie just to get.
He does stuff later. From her. Yeah. He does stuff later that I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
But it's also that thing where it's like, if you're going to be this jealous when you shouldn't be, then I might as well just do whatever because you're going to be jealous anyway.
Plus, this guy just got on the cruise with his wife. They're going on this wonderful cruise together, fiance. And as soon as they get on the ship, he's all, just all hooting and hollering over.
It's a lot.
A lady, like, bro.
It's a lot.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And it's
you
like,
could have stayed home and gotten that reaction from your fiance. You didn't need to. It's just an odd move, but
I think they probably have problems anyway.
Oh, so. Yeah. I think they have problems that they thought maybe the ring would solve, but now they're like, oh, I see. That's not going to happen.
All right. So just for reference, I'm referring to Brian Mallory as Mallory and Janet Mallory as Janet because it's just easier.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Nick from Family Ties, Mallory. So
very nicely done, sir.
Mallory is serving as our narrator as all the passengers board. We start with Peter Andrews, who Janet notes is with a lovely brunette. Mallory's like, keep your schoolgirl thoughts to yourself. He's traveling alone. It's just.
He's so, yeah. Oh. And he's always drinking like something. Some weird, like, he has a sherry or a brandy in his hand. And like almost every scene, like one of those slow sipper, thicker alcohol beverage. You know what I mean? Just weird.
Well, it's like
a Bond villain.
Right. And did they puss out? Like,
yes, they did. He should have stuck to it. This guy should have left the ship after the first stop. You know what?
A bag.
I'm done. Just screw all of you.
Maybe Boss Hogg should have shot him at the end.
Just some Skip Stevenson would have had enough of his nonsense. Just odd. But yeah, I wish they would have stuck with it.
Marcia Rand and her muscle-bound companion, Dave Porter, talked to Julie, kind of let them know that they want a contest and to come knock on the door in 2 weeks because they're just going to be in Bangtown the whole time. So,
Lord.
Julie doesn't want to hear that.
Wonder if Namath left some vitamins for his friend Dave Porter. He and Broadway Joe hang out all the time. Come on.
Dave asks about the gym accommodations, which I believe is the first time since Mr. Barrett asked if there were good gym accommodations. So
we don't have a gym, but we have a spa. In a juice bar. You know, he would have loved. He would have loved it.
It's delicious.
It's.
It's funny. Mallory's like, I don't know who she's with. He's unimportant. So
doesn't matter.
Just doesn't care.
Asshole Mallory.
Poor JJ gets nothing. It's just like
they didn't do anything.
There's somebody else.
All he got in this whole episode was just a big old dash of eager. Like he just they didn't develop his story. He was like, oh look, I'm not happy with what they did with Jimmy Walker in this episode at all. It complete waste.
It just doesn't seem like, because this weirdly felt like the most Jimmy Walker.
Yeah.
Like honestly, but it also felt so tacked on. But that's the problem. The storyline was like, at some points they were trying to have an actual mystery, and at some points they were playing it light. And,
it was the worst written mystery. It was awful. This was not an Agatha Christie mystery. I was hoping it was going to be, and I'm like, oh, it'd be cool if one of these guys, fell off the boat and missing a coin and blah, blah, blah. Nope. None of that. It was missing what I like to call intrigue, Mike. Zero intrigue.
Sorry, I'm trying to close something here. The mystery wasn't even good enough, because at some point it's like, oh well, this is obviously just going to go through every boat stop.
They just wasted our time.
It's not.
I heard a story. He's going to be at the next. Stop it! You're just trying to get us to the next commercial break. Off. Boo. 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 Awful.
All right. So Mallory winds up and he says, all of our people are here. Unfortunately, the cruise will be on its way before they realize that their free cruise comes with strings attached.
What? Okay.
They are trying to make him a supervillain. And I think, honestly, they succeed for the first hour.
They did.
Maybe even to the second hour.
He exceeded
It's fine
my
till he just starts apologizing for nothing.
Just all the wind, he just gets deflated. All he's missing in this episode in the first half is like a cat to pet while he's drinking his sherry. Big white fluffy cat.
Pet of the year, Brian Mallory's white cat.
Hello.
All right. Stubing is greeted by his old friend Charlie Dillingham Jurston.
This guy, old DVP.
Whoo. So Charlie is taking the Buddy Stanfield route of prepping for a meeting that he has in Puerto Rico by taking a boat for like a week. So.
That's so weird. I have a meeting in Denver in August. I will be taking. I'll be riding my bike. Like what are we doing? What are we doing?
But he has ulterior motives. He's also got a secret mission.
Mm-hmm.
The horn goes off and Gopher's like, we got a boogie. And Stubing seems surprised that he had to go to work for a second.
It was very, we're leaving. Okay. Let me go do the thing that I normally do, which is nothing.
On his way out the door, he tells Gopher to find out what this secret mission is. And DVP's like, he's a great guy. And Gopher's like, oh, he's the best. We couldn't get along without him. And he just set up old Charlie. He's like, well, if I have my way, you'll have to. This will be his last voyage. Dun, dun, dun.
And I'm going, 2 villains? Are we getting 2 villains this episode?
And I'm going, hero? What?
Yeah, that's right. Like, okay. Charlie Dillinger or Derringer or Duggager. I'm like, okay. Let's go. No more context needed. He's going to kill Stubing. All right. Not kill Stubing. I apologize. But,
So we get the horn, and it's a lot of Island Princess, stock footage and kind of everything they used last time. They obviously are going to get their money's worth out of it. It's not as we said earlier, it's not the absolute mayhem that it was a couple of weeks ago. We did get the steel drums a few times.
They love the steel drums. They must have had a contract where we need at least 2 appearances. Or
Well,
one,
those
they're just playing the same drums from the last week or the
I
week
think
before.
I think that contract was signed by the Spelling Corporation because if you remember, the first time we saw him was at Charlie's Angels.
That's true. That's true.
So,
Oh, they got their money's worth out of this.
well,
Of the
Mike, how else
Caribbean.
how else would you connotate the Caribbean? It would be
I mean,
impossible.
of course, 3 metal drums.
The stock footage kind of ends with Gopher walking around through a bunch of people. Turns out Mallory has sent for him. He's got 2 items of business here. First, he asks Gopher to tell the bartender, not necessarily Isaac, but probably Isaac, he would like freshly ground nutmeg in his Ramus fizz.
This guy sucks, Mike. This guy sucks. I like how he like feels like he could just call somebody to do his bidding. He loves people to do his bidding. This guy sucks.
Ramus Fizz, of course, we talked about in the episode with Gopher's mom. This is a famous like Louisiana drink. It's also a very complicated drink. There's a lot of stuff going on in there, obviously with the nutmeg. But yeah, what a pompous ass.
What a snarky asshole this guy is.
And it's also like, let me do this complaining first before I ask for the favor that I'm going to ask. So.
Right. It's
the ultimate villain. He hands Gopher 3 boxes and tells him to deliver them on the list of names. Says make sure you don't tell them who sent them. He also takes the time to correct Gopher's grammar. So just this guy is basically just knocking old ladies out of wheelchairs and kicking dogs. This guy is just a cartoon. He's like a heel from the 70s in Memphis. Like he is just like,
I guarantee you if the ship was sinking, that women and children first thing would be out the door. Mallory would say, I want my own rescue boat.
Like did Andy Kaufman get all his heel bits from Brian Mallory?
Somewhere in Memphis, Jerry Lawler's taking notes and watching this episode intently. Oh.
Brian Mallory is the intergender champion of the world.
This guy sucks. Oh.
Old muscle boy Dave is at the bar. He's asking Isaac for some protein shakes and all this stuff, which what the hell was a protein drink in 1980? Was it the Joe Namath stuff? Probably.
Apparently. Well, notice he is drinking a short glass of poolside milk, not to be confused with the tall glass of poolside milk. This is the third time.
Well, after he strikes out with the protein stuff and Isaac offers him basically a grapefruit in a dirty glass, he asks for skim milk from the bar outside in the sun.
Because, they use skim milk a lot on cruises to make, isn't it, don't you use skim milk in a pina colada? Isn't that what the colada is? Or is
I didn't even know, man, I didn't even know they had skim milk in 1980.
I don't even know what that is. It's just water. It's water with white food coloring.
I think it's the top of like a Jello pudding. Like I think it's just
it's skin. It's white skin.
It's not even somehow off the pudding. It's like the lid. Like it's whatever you scrape off the lid. That's skim milk.
Nonsense.
Yeah. Pete is also there. He's reading some books. Doc rolls over and's like, aspiring medical student, and Pete's like, nah, I'm an old lawyer. But he's scared because he is going to be donating a kidney to his brother, and he's reading up on the procedure, which, as you found out with a triple bypass, Mike, don't read up about the procedures.
It's a big deal. It really is a big deal. Can I just say that we are approaching my favorite line of the entire project?
Oh, see, it's a different line. Different line than
you know where I'm saying it.
I do know what we're saying, but Pete brought those books. I don't believe this library that Gopher referenced earlier on the boat would have
gift shop.
Oh, gift shop. There you
go. Yeah.
Barman's book of
just lots of detailed anatomy surgery breakdown. Sure.
You know what it is? David Barnes probably wrote the book, and they got it after Doc had to call him. You're interrupting my business.
Exactly what it is. I'm busy.
The Barnes Book of Surgeries, big and small. Dave is kind of listening to this, and he is aghast that anyone would give up a part of their body. And After
Here it comes.
Pete kind of leaves, Dave's like, "What's he gonna look like? What about the scar? What's he gonna look like in a bathing suit?" Doc says, "Go ahead."
Brave.
I thought he said beautiful.
No, it's brave.
Really? I thought he said beautiful. Brave makes more sense.
I could have swore he said maybe he did say beautiful and I heard brave. It could be.
Either
Damn
way.
it. Either way.
Well, we really built that line up.
Wow, I built that up. One of my favorite lines, but I'm not sure what he said. Nice. Boy, I'm really just hurting my credibility this time. I will say though, it's got to be the quickest, mini episode of Bricker I've ever seen. We're not even really getting rolling here, and he's already tapping into his.
Doc was like, I haven't really gotten to do a whole lot these first 3 episodes, except try to have Gopher killed by the drug police, but I'm doing it tonight. Speaking of Gopher, he is delivering those packages. He runs into Pete and hands it over. Pete doesn't really worry too much about how weird it is that this is happening, but he opens it up and it is a gold coin, and it comes with a note. The note says, "Your cruise ticket and this gold coin are your gifts, and even more lucrative prize awaits. Come to the terrace room at midnight for further details."
So what? The cruise cost $39, and he gave him a sack of Jawea. He gave him a dollar coin, and you're like, ooh.
Well, to be fair, as we found out a few weeks ago, this really only costs him. He gave out 4 gold coins, right? So it cost him $160.
Yeah, that's it. And who's to say? Why would these people go? No. No, make me. I'm not going to that room. I'm hanging out on my free cruise. Make me. I'm not. Keep your stupid dollar coin. What?
I don't know. You don't want to get a shot in the chops, though.
What's Mallory gonna do? It's not like he was physically imposing. He'd have somebody do something.
Oh, you don't think Brian Mallory was physically imposing? Did you watch the later part of the episode?
It just like why didn't Peter Andrews go, you know what? I got enough going on. I'm giving up a body part. I don't need this.
Well, because if somebody gives you a gold coin and they're like, there's even more gold coins, you'd probably go. What are you doing? What's Pete doing? He's not doing anything. He can't have any fun. He's got to give this kidney up.
He's on borrowed time as it is. Yeah, that's true.
Pete's kind of like, that's weird, and he leaves. And Gopher's like, oh, it's pretty intriguing, but Pete's already gone. Gopher's way more into this than Pete.
Pete's got bigger fish to fry.
But he doesn't. I think Pete just doesn't care.
No, he's not doing anything on this cruise.
The brunette who we saw come in with Pete originally runs over to Gopher after Pete leaves. What was that about? What was in the box? What was in the box? Gopher's like, well, ma'am, if it's not affecting your safety, that's private information. And she tries to give him $1.27.
It's HIPAA right there. Early HIPAA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for all the information. So we don't get a lot of reasoning behind it, but she's clearly interested in Pete's doings.
Okay.
Marcia is on the deck trying to get Dave to come down and give her the business. Gopher shows up and hands over the box, and Dave's going to kill him. Gopher's like, I'm not into bronze, which was funny, I thought.
Yeah.
She opens it up, same note, same coin. She's intrigued, but Dave is the jealous kind, and he's like, I'm out of here. Poor Dave.
Poor Dave. He just wants some protein drinks and an appropriate size gym. He can get neither on this ship.
And finally, Marvin gets his coin. Marvin thinks that this is from a female lusting after his body from his bookstore. We get a little information that he does work at a bookstore there, since they didn't give him any information when he first came on the boat.
Yeah, they give nothing. The main thing we knew was this Jones, Marvin Jones. They didn't really frame him at all.
And just to make sure
late addition to the story, Mike? Is this
just to make sure
what's going on here? Like,
just to make sure he's a well-read fellow. His heart will not be a bird in a gilded cage. I will not sell my heart for a woman's gold. So Gopher's like, I'm on a banana boat. He's out of here. Back to Steubing, he meets up with Charlie and he's like, man, you work all the time. You should get somebody to help you out with this heavy workload. Charlie's like, that's a good idea, but how would I find this guy? And once I found him, how would I get him? Charlie's playing him like a drum.
He's playing chess.
He really
doesn't even know what chess is.
Nope. So Steubing's like, well, give him what he wants. And so Van Patten cuts the crap. He's like, all right, what do you want? Steubing's like, I'm a sailor. I don't know anything about business.
I love the sea. Mm-hmm.
But Charlie's like, I can teach you all that stuff. Also, I will triple. I know what you make, which is weird.
Yeah, I know exactly how much, and we're going to make exactly 3 times that amount.
And I'll triple your salary. Now, this guy.
What do you think he made, Steubing? What do you think his salary was?
Well, based on these college prices they talk about later, I'm going to say Steubing makes $50,000.
That sounds about.
I have no idea, but I'm going to say 50.
Throw a number out.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine somebody saying, "Hey, I'll triple your salary. You just have to get off this boat, but not this boat, because this isn't really your boat. Your regular boat, you'd have to leave."
Well, and the interesting thing is Van Patten does a great job. This is an elite tactical mission by him. He doesn't get him at the end, but that probably is the best version anyway. But
yeah.
But
he'll be glad that he didn't, Mike. Let's just say that.
Fair. He does it tactfully, but he is constantly shitting on Steubing's occupation.
Yeah.
He's just like, this is beneath you. You're a glorified babysitter to 600 children. Like,
he's roasting him the whole thing. Really, he's like, yeah, there you are again. Let me tell you how much more your job sucks, sir.
Isaac had shown up to tell him about a staff meeting, and so when they walk away, Steubing's like, man, Charlie's persistent, huh? Isaac asks if he's going to consider it, and Steubing says no. But Isaac asks to put a good word in for him. Won't. Isaac is always around to hear. Bartender's ears, man.
A very light Isaac episode, by the way.
Yeah. Well, thank God he speaks French, or he wouldn't have gotten in this thing at all.
Nothing. Smart move.
All right. Julie is with Roger. She's filling him in on some of this is the closest we get to the totem pole with some information. And so we're just hearing all the amazing things that Aruba has to offer, and then there's Maud. So she shows back up.
Here she comes,
and she's just lighting into Julie about trying to steal your man. I saw what you did on the deck, and all this kind of stuff. So we have established, and Julie says, I wouldn't touch him for 100 years. Like, it was just like, but Julie is not interested. Maud thinks that she is the most interested. Roger is probably too dumb to be playing it coy. Honestly, I don't think he understands what's happening. I don't think he understands what's happening.
Why doesn't Maud just yell at him? Wouldn't that solve this whole problem? Nip it in the bud?
I mean, they deserve each other,
right?
Probably.
They're like, but it's a 2-hour episode, Mink. You know what I mean? We have to make it last. So, you know?
Meeting action. So at first I thought this was terrible, but then I realized it's not their boat, so maybe it's somebody else's problem. But we have to stop in San Juan for a rum refill. And Doc said we can get some more antibiotics if we need them at one of the island ports. It's like, you guys
just left. You guys just started the crew. How much rum did you go through?
Did you do inventory? But
what are you doing?
Well, my assumption is they just took over the boat. But again, no explanation of why they're on this boat, how many times they're on this boat.
How much antibiotics do you need on a ship? Like, what's going on?
I mean, everybody's having a lot of sex.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're just gonna have to disinfect the old island princess when you're done with her.
This meeting is about to wrap up, and there's Maud again. She knocks on the door. This is my point. Like, they would go long stretches with nothing from this thing, but then they would go back to back a lot,
Yeah,
which was almost worse. So
stupid. This is not good.
Maud checks in with the captain again, a little too accessible. If you can just go knock on the captain's door for this crap.
How doesn't he have like like an assistant?
He should have
handles
asked Schneider if he could have kept his bodyguard from last week. That would have been great.
That would have been a giant guy to bring him his donuts too at 3:00 every day.
That would have been great if they had done that. Never changed the character, but also never referenced the character.
He just always
stood in the corner of Stubing's office.
There. Weird. That's odd. He's always somewhere. He's standing in the Acapulco Lounge. You know, he's there somewhere.
Right. He's like hovering over the captain's table. He is the captain's table.
He is the captain's table. Exactly.
Stubing Maud basically is like calling Julia vamp, which is where we get that title. She's been all over her fiance and she wants her reprimanded. Doc is still there and plays this one for snarky.
So he's sarcasm like, and snarkiness.
Yeah. And at first I thought Stubing was going to kind of like yell at Doc about being like that, but I don't think Stubing buys this either. This is like dismissive of somebody Stubing can be, really. But
Stubing's checked out. He's onto that new job at this point. He's dreaming about 3 times his salary. And the other thing, can you define vamp for me?
I mean, vamp, I guess, is almost like succubus or like, just like vamping. I mean, I've never heard that term before, but the way they're treating it is that man stealer, Jezebel, homewrecker. I would imagine those are what they're going for.
Fair enough.
Throwing yourself at somebody, as Julie put it later, pawing and clawing. So
yeah.
Doc's solution is that 20 lashes is the usual punishment of the sea for a vamp. Maud is thrown by this and just asks for a stern talking to. Stubing says fine. She leaves. And then they're like, Julie wouldn't throw herself at someone like that, would she?
They're like, well.
Yeah. Wow. Doc says she's young. She's got time to learn. I don't think she would try to. We've talked about this. She's not one to steal another man yet.
Well, except that first guy was married. Not to say she stole him from another woman.
Who, Stanfield?
Yeah.
But she didn't know that.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's the difference, right? She's not.
Yeah.
She's not the man eater. You know what I mean? She sort of gets in those situations.
The man snacker.
Yeah. So I with you. She's not the type to just try to steal somebody's man, I don't think.
We're in the Mallory cabin. Janet asks, "What are we doing here? What's all this mystery?
What is this? What are we doing?"
Mallory's like, "When you were my secretary many years ago, you stayed out of my business. It's an admirable trait you should employ currently." Or something.
This guy's such a.
Also, again, just like we didn't need another villain point, but it's like he's banging his secretary. Like, Jesus.
This Brian Mallory is a real son of a bitch. Guaranteed he was married, and that was his secretary. Like, this guy just checks all of the a-hole.
Second wife energy.
Oh,
sure.
100%. Yes. Nobody's that confident with the first marriage. Jeez. Mm-mm. That's no. That's not first wife energy at
all. Gopher shows up and reports that all the boxes have been delivered. And Mallory flips one over to Burl Smith because there's one more name on the list, and it's Burl Smith. Gopher goes outside, looks at the coin, and we get a dramatic "Why me?" And that's the end of the first act.
Oh.
Don't worry, we only have 8 more acts.
Jesus.
Act 2.
I don't understand. I don't get it. You have all these stories, and why didn't they just make a 1-hour episode? There's so much crap in this episode. You did not need a 2-hour episode at all for any of this. There's so much fluff. There's so many people. It's just, There's so many dead ends and so many storylines that don't mean anything. It's frustrating. It's like they're just throwing all this crap. And they're like, well, here, we'll just throw, it when in doubt, throw another storyline in. It's just
And this one more than
bothers me.
any that we've ever seen is because of the nature of the travel log that we're doing
Yes.
here, right? It's so much stock footage. It's so much voiceover. It's just
padding is
filling.
insane.
It's so much padding. Yeah. Okay. Everybody has gathered at the terrace room at midnight. Let's get some deets on what's happening. Marvin is not thrilled that other men are here. He's open-minded, but not that open-minded, Mike. But
That's kind of funny.
Gopher's like, it's not what you think. She didn't send it. He did. Mallory shows up. Mallory shows up with Janet. And of course, JJ knows him because he's a famous writer. But he's also like, do you write to the wife? And it's like, just because your husband or wife does a job doesn't mean you can do it.
Oh, they said that to her, and I was like, oh, there's gonna be physical contact. Brian Mallory's gonna get so mad at that.
She starts to answer that she used to, and he basically is like, no one wants to hear from you. So
this guy.
All right. So Mallory lays out the quest. So basically, he is in exchange for the free cruise and the gold coin, he needs the help of these 4 folks to locate his long lost nephew, Tom Mallory. Good question to ask. And JJ asks it, like, why wouldn't you just have a private eye? Well, there's no known pictures of Tom Mallory, Mike. In fact, the only photographs that exist are those in the minds of the people that have seen them. And who's seen them? Well, wouldn't you know it? It's these 4 people. How did anyone figure that out? I have no idea. So.
It's the thinnest of thin. Like when he's saying this, I'm like, this is the caper. You set the stage for a caper, and this is it. The thinnest of storyline. Like there's no. Oh God.
So people that have the people that have been gathered. JJ Marvin knows Tom because he was a frequent customer at Marvin's bookstore, aisle 12. In fact, some sort of religion aisle. Connie Stevens was in the same apartment building as him. Turns out that old Peter Andrews is an attorney and helped settle a claim where Tom Mallory hurt his ankle. And Gopher might know him from playing chess on a previous cruise about 6 months ago. Sure. Gopher.
Well, nobody has picture IDs back then. Like, how would you just happen to have? You know what I'm saying? It's just
which of the 4 meetings is the least likely that you would remember them?
Oh, definitely the Gopher one.
You think?
Because he sees hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people.
If I had to rank them, I would say Connie Stevens is then 3rd least likely, because an apartment building laundromat, and let's be honest, after we met Tom, not a dynamo, not a soup. I'm pretty sure Connie Stevens is having a lot of people run through that apartment.
Yeah, she's not a lonely woman. Let's just say that.
Pete didn't seem to remember him, but at least he has like a name and that kind of stuff. And then Marvin probably would be the first. So
why wouldn't Isaac be looped in?
Why would he be?
Well, he knows what the guy looks like. He took the picture.
Well, how did... I guess the only... Well, yeah.
Out of all the people to recognize him...
Well, they didn't know about the picture, though, right?
How would they... I don't know. How else would they know? With Gopher loose lips, sink ships, telling stories about passengers he's played chess with? Like, you know what I mean? First name, last name?
Chess.com. Maybe he went on chess.com.
Yeah. I gotta log in for my rankings. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's thin. I guess because it's funny, I was going to say, well, maybe you wouldn't go to the bartender because what are the odds the bartender would remember he's going to see a million faces? But a bartender probably would be the most likely. I mean, Isaac just spotted Ted Knight from an engagement party 10 years ago, like a couple of weeks ago. So
That's a good point.
You
Yeah,
know what it
it's weird.
probably is? Brian Mallory is probably racist, and he had to take Marvin.
It checks the boxes.
He had to take Marvin, so he couldn't have two black people on the quest. The long and short of it, too late, is that Tom took the boat where he met Gopher, which is weird now because that means there's at least three times that the Love Boat crew ran the Island Princess, right?
Right. Well, the next one's next week. I think the next two-parters next week. More Caribbean.
It's only 90 minutes. It's only 90 minutes next week. I can't do another 2-part Caribbean.
No,
it's too much.
No more.
No mas. I'll do another Cowboys episode. So the upshot is that because Tom took this cruise, he may have gotten off at one of the ports. Tom wants to, or Brian Mallory wants to find him, and so this is his best shot, his only shot. And so they're just basically going to take the boat, get off, look for this guy who they kind of sort of remember once, and I'm sure they'll find him. No reason really given as to why.
There's just so many things wrong with this storyline. I mean, I'm not going to... Okay.
But listen, Mike, all this searching will not be for free. If they do find information that leads to the whereabouts of Tom Mallory, the four of them will split $100,000, which is $50,000 more than the marriage-a-thon. So,
yeah,
Ed White would have found him for a house and a car.
That's it. Here, you can keep the cash. Mallory should have talked to him. Jeez, he messing around.
He would have found him.
Ed White would have been.
Ed White would have found him for sure.
100%. Because now he needs something. He got hosed.
Now he's just married.
He's like, I'm never leaving this boat until I win something. This is my chance.
We didn't look. I didn't even remember to look for Ed White in the group marriage shot. Did he even get married?
I'm gonna look for him on this. Go back and see if he's in any of the background shots on the Island Princess. Jeez, poor Ed White.
Isaac. Okay, so we get kind of a back and forth here in the bar, which isn't the Pirates Cove. It is the bar they use. So this is where it's like they at least did the effort to have Island Princess things. Right. So it's actually kind of a nicer.
Pirates would be in the Caribbean, not in the Pacific, wouldn't they? Wouldn't there more pirates?
Well, maybe they couldn't. Maybe they couldn't get Disney. Maybe it could be Pirates of the Atlantic Ocean.
That's right. Yeah, last time I didn't go on Pirates of the Pacific. The Mexican Riviera, I believe it was. Go ahead.
Eye patches of Aruba. Isaac is pretty impressed by this whole thing. And while this is happening, him and Gopher are talking. Mallory shows up just so he can insult Janet some more.
No kidding. Here she comes again.
So the back and forth basically is Gopher's like, I just wish I could remember what Tom looked like. I know we played chess, but I just can't remember. And Isaac's like, well, we could probably look at that picture I took, which is on the crew bulletin board.
It took Isaac 2 seconds to know what they were talking about. Like, what?
Okay. So when Gopher and Tom were playing chess, Isaac just happened to be trying out his new camera and took a picture because Gopher made a dumb face. That all makes actual sense. Like that
totally makes sense. Right. I get that.
What doesn't make sense is Isaac puts it on this bulletin board of a boat that they don't work on and remembers what color pin he used. Did they have rainbow colors back then for bulletin board tacks?
You had black. That's all you had. You had black. No clear. No, none of that.
I wonder
stuff.
He remembered the red.
But again, come on. Again, my mental list of things that I'm unhappy with right now is just getting longer by the second. It's just okay.
So while this is happening, Janet is asking Mallory why he treats her so badly, worse than the dog. Well, at least the dog listens and does what she's told.
Well, what did she expect asking that question to Brian frickin' Mallory? Like, what kind of answer
have you seen the
think?
First two acts, Jeez. Janet? Jesus.
And those weren't based on loaded questions. Boy, you just threw old Brian Mallory a meatball right over the plate. He's not going to miss that one.
Then he's
because you're stupid, Janet. Like, Jesus.
Then he's like, well, if you're not happy, you can always leave. And I think she's stunned by this. Like legitimately stunned that she could leave.
He wasn't playing her bluff. He's like,
nah, he's too busy inhaling a glass of brandy.
Just another sippable beverage for him. Right. He didn't give two craps.
So she leaves with a couple zingers about, well, I always do what I'm told. Doc approaches a crying Janet on the deck, asking if she's running away. It seemed like Doc didn't know who it was while he was hitting on her, and then when he realized it, he said, "Oh, hello, Mrs. Mallory." So I think Doc was coming in hotter than he probably intended to initially.
He had selective memory. That's what that was. Circumstantial memory for Mr. Bricker, Dr. Bricker.
She is crying. She's got nowhere to stay, and she can't possibly go back. Mallory found out that there's no rooms on the boat.
Which she could stay in the Paul Williams suite.
What a villain! What I mean? And he's
plenty
like,
of fresh air.
He's like, it's pretty cold up on the deck, and she's like, not as cold as it is here. They're all throwing alley-oops to each other. They're just like. Long story short, Doc says you can stay in my room. And Janet's like, I know it's the Love Boat, which it's not, by the way. It's the Island Princess, so I don't know what the rules are here.
Do you like Japanese robes, Janet? Oh, here we go.
So Doc says, no, don't worry. I'll check myself into the infirmary. There's nobody in there yet. Janet says, I'll take the infirmary. Doc makes up basically some medical excuse to get her in there. And so Janet will be staying in the infirmary. Sure.
Which is just another name for Doc's cabin, right? Is that just the same thing? Oh, welcome to the infirmary.
I mean, there's a lot of episodes where Doc should have stayed in the infirmary, but he slept in a bathtub or his waiting table. Like
Captain Stuving's office. Remember that whole thing?
Oh, yeah.
There's no reason for that.
Marcia checks in with our boy, Dave. He's pretty upset about last night. Marcia got in around 1:00, explained what was going on, and now she expects him to perform.
She should have.
He's made of flesh and on. He's made of flesh and blood, Mike.
You can't just show up at 1 a.m. like, come on.
Especially because it took 9 seconds for her to explain the plot to him, and he was fine with it.
Yeah, he's totally fine. Just let me know what's going on. How about you just communicate with me, Marcia Brand? That's all. Just here's what I need. I need protein drinks. I need a proper gym and honesty. Really, it's just 3 things and fishnetty shirts. 5 things. That's all I ask for. That's it. Like a simple guy to please.
Too many titles already. But you're right, because Dave is fine with this, and now it's time to bang.
Yeah, he's fine. It's time for sex. Dave Porter, yeah.
Vicky asks her dad if he could be a father and play ping pong with her. There's no kids on this boat, which is something that, is going to happen. Maybe you shouldn't live here.
Oh, tell that to the scar in her hand, the blood brother scar. You better be quiet, Vicky.
Good thing maybe that didn't come up.
Cruise without kids is a good thing. Jeez.
Yeah, but also maybe that's good it didn't come up when the social services was here.
Yeah, it's true. What's that scar? Oh, well, we went down below. We found a stowaway, and we all cut our hands open, and we put them together.
Like, it's November 15th, Vicky. How much schoolwork have you done on the in November?
Yeah,
here?
What do you? I've not seen her do any schoolwork, by the way, the entirety. Just
well, she's playing ping pong.
Well, that's true. I know she's a racket sport enthusiast based on her. She played what?
Yeah, she's the next Tracy. She's the next Tracy Austin. That's right. Oh, she invented pickleball.
That's it. She didn't even know it. Good for you, Vicky.
The upshot, of course, is that Stubing doesn't have time to play with his daughter, and the boat is no place to, obviously.
I'm too busy with my work.
She heads out. Here comes Doc. There's a problem. A lady, Miss Lottie, tripped on the carpet, and she's threatening to sue. Doc thinks it's more about attention than litigation, but he promised her a seat at the captain's table, and he'll split time with.
Yeah, that'll make it all better. Yeah.
Yeah, it did. I guess. We never saw her after that. Maybe Doc threw her over the rail.
Jesus. Like, do you like cod? Do you like to eat cod at the captain's table? No? Then I'm going to throw you overboard.
Sorry, you're going to die.
Sorry. We can't afford any more insurance investigations.
Now it's time for Julie to get her, her talking to. Julie's like, listen, the less I see these clowns, the better. Julie is on board with this Stubing ruling, so she's fine with that. Stubing's actually having a pretty good day. He's killing it, except for the
He's looking like $1 million.
Yeah, but he's kind of Reaganing a little bit. He's doing really well.
He's looking good right now. Well, especially the old Charlie Danger.
Yep.
Dillinger or Danger, whatever his name is. Charlie Danger.
Woo. The flagpole sitter himself. Charlie Danger. Here comes Charlie, and he's like, "Hey, have you had a chance to listen? Read the annual report that I gave you?" Steven's like, "Not yet," and he said, "You should. It's pretty interesting." And then he starts talking about, he does the hard sell for Vicky in New York and all these kind of things. He kind of craps on the job again, and he heads off. And we get like a contemplative Stubing heading to commercial break. We can talk about it now. We can talk about it later. But like, they did a really good job. I'm going to say this. Nothing in this episode ended well.
No,
nothing.
100%.
Everything
100%.
went poorly. But up until the ending logic, they did a really good job because it's true. Stubing, no matter how much you like the boat, you got a 13-year-old kid. Like, this is a way better life for you and her.
Sure.
Like this, you can get a boat and go out in the Hudson.
It's 3 times your salary, right?
Yeah.
It's stability. It's a group of peers that she could go to school with.
Yeah.
It's a house. It's like,
you know what? In the summer, you can go to the Hamptons and ride around in a little boat.
You can draw a picture of a boat while you eat donuts every day at 3 p.m. You don't need it. You can still wear the uniform.
Shit, you can get 3 donuts. He's making 3 times the money.
Do whatever. Yeah, you don't have to. Oh, that's true. 3 times a day. Woo!
That would have been funny if, like, and as a sweetener,
I'm going to pay you in powdered donuts. I'm Charlie Donut for Danger Dillinger. Charlie Donut.
Act 3. All right, Doc and Janet are dining together, which is funny because
why?
Well, during the initial thing on the deck, she was like, "Please, let's keep this quiet." And then you're just gonna have dinner in the middle of
what
the.
Are you doing?
Come on, man.
Old Brian Mallory is gonna be lurking. Why would you do that?
You know your drunk, vindictive husband is gonna find out.
No kidding.
And just to show how awful her life has been, she doesn't even know how to order, Mike. She hasn't even ordered for herself in so long. Have you ever ordered for somebody? Like, without it being like, I don't know what I want, or you've been here before.
No.
But like in a I'm ordering for you way. That is insane.
God, no. I mean, I've had the opposite.
That's not insane.
You
are definitely the Janet Mallory.
Yeah, I'm definitely. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I live with Brian Mallory. Yeah, no, that tracks. Wow, this hits home way more than I thought this episode did. In a very special episode.
It's fine. She doesn't listen. So
yeah, she'll never hear
Supercut.
So it's fine. But yeah, that is a weird.
It's a very TV. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's an extreme thing to do.
It does feel like a trope, though. Right? It's like she'll have that's, I don't know. I've never seen that in real life. And maybe it exists, but
I mean, I used to wait tables. I never saw that. Like that's an aggressive, weird.
I'm gonna try that next time at dinner.
Oh,
see what happens.
Please tell me what happens.
Can't even
just don't even give her a chance.
I'll be ordering for both of us. And I'll just order the wrong thing.
She'll have. Oh, that'd be great.
She'll have a Happy Meal.
See, it wouldn't go well. I'm telling you, that's not going to go well. Yeah, it's a weird move, but also, boy, Janet Mallory has 0 confidence. What happened to her?
Well, I think we're seeing what happened to her.
More than
doing
that, she had to have no confidence going into this if it's like this now.
I mean, I don't think this guy, as much as he turned on a dime the other way at the end, I don't think he was like a happy-go-lucky guy until they got on the boat.
And I don't think that turn at the end is a permanent turn. I think once an a-hole, always an a-hole. He was just saying that crap to get her off the boat. And he's like, now that we're off the boat, Janet, she'll have
unearned.
Unearned, 100%.
All right, Miss Lottie is at the captain's table. Pretty crappy captain's table again.
Table this week.
Last week we had like the Cowboys cheerleaders and a prince, and this week it's Charlie Dauber and
Charlie Donut
and pending litigation.
Awful.
She's very impressed by all Stubing's trappings and his captain's stripes and all that stuff. Then she finds out that that old Charlie is single, and so she's on to the next one. Sit down, Stubing.
Here you go.
Which means because they're both single, so basically she's way more attracted to Dick Van Patten. So which has to be a real burn for Gavin. Like that's so.
Yeah, I prefer. That is funny. It's a real who's who of early 1980s hunks. Back-to-back DVP or old.
Sorry, is this table Gavin brought to you by Tiger Beat?
I mean, it's not fair. If Dick Van Patten was wearing Stubing's outfit, I think that's the only way to really but he would look terrible in that outfit.
Well, this is the thing that we didn't talk about. Maybe we talked about it the first time, but in one of those failed Love Boat pilots, he was the ship doctor. Now Stubing was not the captain.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't get doctor energy from Dick Van Patten. Cruise ship doctor
but I
energy.
Definitely got a chemistry with him and Stubing that I think something could have happened.
I agree.
Yeah, we will at some point. We've said this. We will at some point go back and watch those, and they will not make any sense to us because of obviously what we've seen. But I feel like that at least made me think that Dick Van Patten could have done this.
Well, yeah, we never watched the pilot.
No, we'll get in there eventually.
Yeah, we should put that in the old, you know what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like as you said, Hopper 20 times, you're done.
I can't say it again. Yeah, over the limit.
You've used all your ABS challenges.
That's it. And my last hydration break. So I'm really just trying to get through.
Doc, who volunteered to help out, comes over, sees that Stubing is drowning, and asks to take Miss Lottie for a walk on the deck. And this is, of course, where he throws her overboard because we don't see her the rest of the episode. So. Free cruise.
Goodbye.
For Patty
Goes
McLeod.
in for a smooch and just picks her up and tosses her into the deep water.
Hey, Gavin, sorry about that.
She sinks like those bottles of ketchup from season 1. Goodbye. No insurance claim for you.
Isaac asks Pete how the kidney's doing in kind of a drive-by. And as Pete leaves, here comes that brunette again, like a psychopath.
No kidding.
So this is like really good Isaac reaction acting. Because she's like, did you ask about the kidney? What did he say? All that stuff. And Isaac's just like, yep, nope, okay. Like, and it was just very classic Ted Lang being great at little stuff. But again, we're going way too far into this. Because just as a note, there's only 4 acts in the first part. So these are longer acts. So we're
much longer.
We're very far into the first part before they explain it. They don't explain it to the very end, basically, of the first part. And this woman just comes off like a crazy person. So Charlie's back. He is working on Stubing. This is where this is after Miss Lottie clears out. And they're talking about college. This is also where he gets in a couple shots about being a den mother for 600 children. He starts to hit on, how much college costs. And Stubing's basically like, I don't know, $4,000, which I have no idea back then what college costs. I know a state school in the mid-90s tuition was maybe $5,000 a semester. So, but that was in state and all that stuff. Like, I don't even, and isn't California aren't California state schools free for residents?
I don't know. I don't
I
know
thought they
that to be
were.
true.
Well, I guess he
Well,
lives on the
also,
sea, so he'd have to
well,
go
it
to
doesn't
the
even matter.
University of the Sea.
Or that totem pole. See if they're giving out associate
Oh,
degrees in the middle of the Pacific.
totem pole U.
Just right. TPU, baby. Woo. And the other thing, Vicky's like 12. What are we doing
13.
here?
13.
13. Well, she could be 12. It's not like she's going to school. We never see her doing it. Why are you talking college?
Yeah,
What are
maybe
you
college
talking
isn't
about?
in Vicky's future.
No, maybe
maybe she
racket
should work on
sports
that.
are. Just something, but it's ridiculous. They're like, oh, school, college. But I've never seen her open a book. I've seen her cut her hand open, but I've never seen her open a book.
Whatever the cost of college is, it's way more, at least according to Charlie, who is probably playing it up. He's single. He doesn't have any kids. He doesn't know.
He has no
college
idea.
Costs, so.
It should be called Charlie bullshit. He's just
well,
slinging nonsense to get Stubing to go. Or college. There's more donuts in New York. Like whatever he's got to do.
He's definitely got one on the line. That's for sure. So he's pressing it pretty hard. And again, it's a good tactic. Like Stubing needs to think about these things. So
what job could this guy possibly be recruiting for where he's like, I got to have that guy? Like what? They never really said what it was.
No, they never said what the company was, could it which really makes me mad.
Like, what job pays that much?
Do you think he took over Larson Industries, the Larson Box and Paper Company?
That's funny. I don't know.
Maybe he's running the Rue McClanahan's hospital. It's just all from that episode. So.
It's just an odd thing. He can't count. We've seen that. He likes to wear shirts. It's just it.
And especially because we know who's on next week, right? So if you're going to talk businessmen, we got to have. Maybe that's why they didn't say anything. Maybe it is Collins Machinery. Maybe, I'm just trying to think of all the businesses we've heard of.
Yeah, it's just odd. Like, what do you possibly?
Okay. I would have liked. This show is famous for not giving us anything, but like I would have liked a one sentence like. Dillinger Hardware is doing great.
Maybe he's working for Fleers or Pat Morita's company that Gary Collins worked for. I mean, who knows?
Well, he's in New York. He's in New York in 1980. It could be virtually anything.
Right.
So
very odd.
I bought Studio 54.
No kidding.
Don't work for me.
I want you to manage I want you to be a doorman. What?
Oh, I've seen some things. Doc and Janet are dancing once again. Not a discreet move by these guys.
Let's keep it quiet.
Then we get a smooch.
That's just okay.
So
this kind of bugged me here because I think this kind of crossed the line. I mean, obviously crossed the line. Doc knows she's married. Like, are you kidding? Come on, man. Is it that important to you? Like, just bugged me. I don't think he would do that.
Well, especially because it's not consistent in terms of then later when she's clearly coming for spite that he backs away. And to your point, like you literally met the husband, yesterday?
Yeah.
Like, so it is.
It's not like
It's not like she kissed him. It was more of a mutual kiss.
And it wasn't a stolen kiss.
No.
Under the bright lights, where what's his name likes to make out.
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's just.
You would also
think it's just dumb. Yeah.
You would also think after all these years, Doc would know if you're ever going to kiss anybody, don't do it there because of course
Ken Berry knows where to go.
Who's up on the rail, Mike?
Of course, Brian Mallory's on the rail drinking sherry
and glaring us to our next commercial break.
Petting his white cat. Yeah.
All right. Act 4. Now, everything that happens in here is weird for its own reason. Literally everything is just, it is weird and wild. And it starts with, okay, so we basically get, I assume it's not real, right? It's probably taken from real transcripts of what actually happens.
Sure.
But we get a communication between the island princess,
You say
and
the prince. He's
right,
back. Yeah.
and the Panama Canal operator, basically tower, clearing the princess to come in. You have to like get hooked up to a bunch of like pulley systems and all this stuff.
Fill it
and,
with water. It's a whole
right.
thing. Yeah.
But it's literally like, I'm princess checking in for it's like a lot of that. And it was interesting. It was weird as hell to start a scene like that. And we're just getting more stock footage as it happens.
It
But
went on and on and on.
it felt like a Nova or something like that. Like if this episode
most
aired
of
at
the
the
act. Yeah.
if this aired at the planetarium in like 1990, it
Oh,
would have
yeah,
made
yeah,
sense. Like, so.
But it also like it was so much of this act was that just like in facts about it. Just they were again, it just filling time at this point.
And then they follow that all up with Gopher, Burl Smith High's assistant personal Burl Smith. And here is 95 seconds of Panama Canal facts.
And that's not scripted. He just knows a lot about the Panama Canal. Let me just get this off my chest. That's a Fred Grandy thing.
Mike, were there any facts from this first session that stuck out to you? Because I have a few.
Not a one. Not a one.
Well, at one point I'm like, oh, I'll write them down, and they just kept going.
They just kept going, and I was like, same thing. I was like, I should jot.
So it took half a century to complete. Over 50,000 workers. And the one that I thought was interesting was the Island Princess pays $20,000 for use of the canal. But they save that money. Well, they save that money in gas and mileage. What a miracle.
No, they don't save it. They're just not going all the way around South America to get to Los Angeles.
But as a selling point, it's one less day, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. That cruise last week took 18 days.
That's what I'm saying. It's not, you know what? We're going to do you all a favor. We're not going to go around the base of South America down to the bottom of the Argentina by the Falkland Islands and go all the way back up. Instead, we're going to get a lecture on the Panama Canal.
All right. So, Pete, did he back into somebody or run into somebody? It was like one of those weird ones with the carts, the luggage carts. But basically, he gets bumped into. This entire scene is just, this whole act is just amazing voiceover. It's just so bad. But
no mics apparently worked on this scene. It was very odd.
Pete kind of gets jostled, basically. And here comes that brunette again, flying out of nowhere. Watch where you're going, all that kind of stuff. And Pete's like, all right. It's almost the end of It's almost the end of the first episode. Like, what's your story here? You've been up my asshole.
Yeah, you've been up my keister the whole time, lady.
So this is Sharon Patrick, and she is engaged to Pete's brother. Now, Pete's brother and him don't necessarily talk all the time, but he talks enough to him to donate a kidney. Basically, she is here to babysit Pete's kidney and make sure that he doesn't do anything too damaging and also that he doesn't chicken out. This is insane.
This is just such a throwaway. I mean, Pete already has something to do in this cruise. I don't know why they needed this extra layer of unnecessary,
because it really doesn't affect. It doesn't affect really anything.
No, it's just there were interactions between the two of them, but there's no big picture. It didn't do anything.
If you really want to give Pete something else to do, why not have her be the fifth person that knows? And have him, like, they kind of go on, because he ended up hanging out with Connie Stevens a lot,
right?
But that didn't mean anything.
No, it would have been more circumstantial, and it just, you know what I mean. It would have made more sense just for them to be in the same scenes a bit more than just this rando lady.
Well, unless they would have given us that love triangle between Dave and Pete and Connie Stevens, like that we all wanted.
Well, because it could have been like, Pete's so smart, but Dave is, Dave is Dave. Look at that shirt. That would have been good. But
Pete's gonna go drink to the ditch. But this, of course, is like Sharon's like, you can't. Your kidney is essentially going to be a part of my life, which is they bring that up a lot, and that's
a weird thing
not
to
a
say.
thing.
Just a weird.
That is not a thing. So, anyway,
I'm surprised she didn't just harvest it herself at this point.
Here,
let's take a bath. Pete.
Let's tub them up.
Jeez.
Let's go.
I'm taking this kidney and I'm getting off at Mazel. I'm going to bring it home.
Gopher's back with more facts. 15,000 ships use the canal. It's a tribute, Mike, to commerce, but it's also a tribute to the 25,000 workers who lost their lives in building the Panama Canal. As we said in the first list of memorial. Facts.
Yeah.
Well, as we said in the first, 50,000 people worked on it, so half of them died. Oh my God.
We had an attrition rate of 50%.
What is this, a pyramid?
Was it really worth it? Like, good Lord.
Well, thank God the princess is saving gas money.
Jeez. Wow.
As I said, this is 100% a commercial for
Panama Canal.
Yeah.
Or the Island Princess. I don't know what it's just.
So clearly they have softened us up with all these Panama Canal facts. How else would you? What are you going to do here? What exciting thing could you do to bring down people from the high of facts?
Oh, so many good facts. Sure.
We are in the Mallory cabin. Janet is returning. Yeah, Janet is returning. Here we go. Janet is returning to get the rest of her stuff. And Mallory is like, would I be too forward to ask where you're staying? And she doesn't even answer him. And that's like, the disrespect.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, well, I will just assume. I'll just make assumptions then. And she's kind of no selling him, right?
She's not having it.
Now, bear in mind, of course, he saw what happened too.
Sure, he did.
So he's like, you're kind of embarrassing me with your behavior. And she said, well, that's actually making it all the better. That's a little check for me. So Janet's feeling pretty good about herself.
She's
right?
feeling very saucy right now. Sure.
Yeah. And then Pernell Roberts, like, who is a big dude, kind of like corners Gail Honeycutt. And I don't know if it was because they had to like shoot it in a way where obviously like he's probably like telling her now and like that kind of stuff or whatever, but they don't show his face. I guess Pernell Roberts was like, you can't see my face when I beat the hell out of my wife.
What did he get? He got like a smack double.
He sure did get a smack sound. So he corners her and he says, you're acting like a tart. And then he shorthands her right in the face.
One of the,
it's
just
the
from
worst
a technique.
Yeah,
it was really, that was
it was, and I believe
you might as well just punched her. Like it was rough. It was, good Lord,
it was uncomfortable. I was not expecting it.
Was the world just okay with like?
Well, it's our
slapping women on TV.
So we have had instances where people have joked about it. If you remember, Kurt Stansel.
Wow,
joked about
the GOAT. Yeah,
joked and got a laugh track.
That is true.
I don't believe we've ever had a man hit a woman on the show.
Yeah, I didn't.
And at this point, I'm like,
they didn't need that to push the story, in my opinion. But
and here's the thing: I'm like, well, you can't come back from that. Up until this point, I'm like,
you shouldn't be able to come back from that.
Up until this point, I'm like, okay, this guy's a cartoon villain. I'm going to be bummed out when they go for the face turn, but like, obviously. But like after he hits her, I'm like, well, you can't come back from that.
It's Memphis wrestling, Mike, is exactly what it is. I mean, this guy, he's getting police escort out of the arena every Saturday night. I mean, this is a new level of like, screw this guy.
She leaves, no words, just walks out, heads right to Doc. And she's crying and she's kind of holding her face. I don't know much about much, but a guy Pernell Roberts' size, the short armor like that.
Selling this a lot more.
I mean, you would just think she would have some redness or something.
You
like
got to think it would
you would
mess her
think
all up.
you would think the doctor would have seen what it was.
Well, especially it's not like a face is like used to getting hit.
Right.
You're going to be red. Your eyes are going to be watery.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be, and there's going to be some physical damage.
Right. Exactly.
I mean,
a guy that size.
He's not even wearing gloves or boxing gloves or anything. Just raw dog hand. He's
probably got some villain ring on too.
So. A big nugget ring. Just lots of points on it. Yeah, that's a new level of scumbag.
She gets to Doc's cabin and she's like, "Take me," basically.
Yeah,
and
which
Doc's
is a weird reaction to getting like.
Well, that's a spite move right there, which is
huge
fine.
Spite move.
But why wouldn't? It's interesting that she didn't say what happened, and I don't.
Doc would have handled business.
Well, and I guess that's where I really have a problem with. If you are dug in that this has to end with them getting together, then why isn't it Doc goes and
beats the shit out of Brian Mallory?
Yes, or at least talks to him and dresses like something. But there was no inflection point to right. Exactly.
Nope.
Anyway,
but he totally would have.
Of course,
he would have seen the face. The face would have been warm. Like all these things happen. It was the next scene after it. They should have let Bricker say something to this Joker.
Doc is like not interested in her this way. He's like, I want you, but not like this. Class act, that Doc.
And I heard a rumor you didn't like to wear Japanese robes. So, hurt face or not,
Yeah. So there will be no smooching tonight, but
it is jarring to see that. And I'm being completely serious. Like you just don't see that.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it.
I didn't like it, and I know it's a time and all that stuff.
Still,
but
it's just
we have gone through 80 episodes of this show.
Yeah,
we've seen a lot of stuff, but no one's ever laid hands on a woman.
No,
and I don't. And then to basically have it not mean anything.
Right. He got no comeuppance, really.
Right. Yeah.
He got rewarded in the end. And she got that's a bad look for Janet Mallory and Gail Honeycutt. You know what I mean? Imagine you're playing that role and you're like, wait a minute, he's going to smack me. And then at the end, we're going to, it's weird. That's just weird.
You just did, because to your point, you could do the whole exact episode except take the smack out and probably be fine.
And it's 1980. It's not like it's 1950 something. Like it just seems just.
Yeah. Like I know there are things that we don't understand because of the timing, but that's not one of them. That's.
I just don't know if it's understandable. And it wasn't necessary. You didn't need to do. He was already an asshole. Like you didn't need to do this, especially if you were going to undo all of his villainous actions. Yeah, it really made me uncomfortable. I can't say it enough.
The Quest crew. That's how we'll be referring to them at the rest of the show.
QC.
The Quest crew. They're kind of chatting it up, getting that first day's plan out. Gopher's kind of showing them the map and everything. Mallory shows up. He's like, tomorrow we ride. Like basically, they ask if Mrs. Mallory's going to be there, and he's like, nah, probably not.
Probably not. After
and then JJ leads us to commercial. JJ thinks, by the way, at every stop that they're going to find Tom Mallory. He is very optimistic for no reason.
Just nothing. He just needs that money so badly. That's what it is.
But he gets the search begins, and we get a to be continued. So we will see you when the Lobo continues in a moment. We didn't actually get that, which is disappointing. But
yeah, I like it when they do that.
All right, so we are in the second part now, and this
not a lot's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen.
No, this is going to go fast.
Next 40 minutes.
So Act 5, we're going to add some characters. We're going to.
Why not?
This is a lot of the voiceover and footage of all the places they are at, and just nothing really of worth.
What was the point of the Lucius car? I don't even understand. There was no point.
Well, I guess they needed a villain.
Yeah, but like if you don't introduce them in the beginning, they got enough villains in this episode. You know what I mean? To have him in the second hour, and this guy is just I just thought he was an unnecessary part in an already very crowded episode.
And goes from being a world-class villain to a bumbling idiot.
Yeah, he's the dumbest guy going.
Welcome to Aruba. We get a what I assume is the street parade that they had talked about. They were making a big deal that everybody will be at this street parade. And so that's where we're at in Aruba. And Mallory's like, all right, happy hunting, everyone. I'll set up headquarters over at this cafe. So, sure. I guess he's waiting for people to bring back all this information on this fucking goose chase that he.
Why didn't he just stay on the boat? What's the point of him going to get coffee? He just wants to get sherry in a different. Like, what's the point of you leaving the boat? You sent all these jokers out.
Well, I guess.
And they were on the island for maybe 6 minutes.
I guess he wants to be there because he wants to talk to Tom, right? But it's all very unusual.
Again, they didn't stay long.
The awesome tact that Marvin takes is to just scream Tom's name over this parade, which is, of course, insane. And it goes on for quite a while.
It was a little too long, man. It was a little... They're like, it's okay. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
So this Carmen Santiago part gets solved because they run into a non-Anderson priest who remembered Tom and mentioned that he went on to Martinique. So to your point, Mallory's like, well, back on the ship. I'm wasting money by the day.
He didn't even order anything. Yeah, he didn't even get anything.
In the interim of all this stuff, Gopher runs into a small, short, stocky man, hoggish in appearance,
with a basket of fried chicken,
who asks if he likes the parade. And who are you looking for? What's that now?
Weird.
But Gopher couldn't give him
zero discretion.
Information. Yeah,
no discretion at all.
Yeah. Doc and Janet also show up at one point, but they don't go into the cafe because that's headquarters. That's Mallory headquarters.
You can't go in there. You want to keep this whole thing hush hush.
Yeah, discretion.
Why would they go
to
shore together too? It's just like, all right, Doc. Like, what are we doing?
Do you
Why
think
would he go to shore with her after? Ugh.
Well, right, because that's the thing. I was literally just about to say, do you think Doc slept with her? But we know that he didn't. So, what's the game here? What is the game here?
I don't know. I have to assume that she told him what happened, but then that he would have reacted.
He wouldn't have stood. He would not have stood down.
No,
when he did.
No.
Yeah.
If anything, he would have gone to where that guy was on the island. No, I don't know. The dots don't really connect on the interaction between Janet and Doc. Definitely some missing information there.
All right. We're back on the boat. Vicky comes in to say good night to Steubing, but he's swamped, Mike. Swamped with work.
Sure he is, as always.
Vicky says, it feels like something's been on your mind this week.
Here it comes.
And that there's nothing that she wouldn't do for him. I don't like two-part Vicky.
No, me neither.
I like Vicky. I don't like two-part Vicky because they decide to make her into like this character that is just saccharine sweet, and we don't need very inconsistent.
It's very inconsistent. This is not who she is. Like, this is ridiculous.
Especially on top of a couple weeks ago when the exact same thing happened. Like, job is just taking place for mom.
Right.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. Right. Exactly. And she didn't. Yeah, I don't like it when they sort of force this weird side of her character. I don't like it one bit, sir.
Hard pass, guys.
Hard pass.
Let's see. We are now heading to Martinique. The quest crew is talking about their plans, and Pete had mentioned that priest they spoke to mentioned something about pilots, so he's thinking the airfield, maybe the airport is where to go. I mean, if it was Mazatlan, that's where he'd be.
Of course, where everyone would be.
Right. Who wouldn't be? But so they'll figure that out. Pete's then like, hey, is that muscle bound idiot boyfriend of yours around, the Connie Stevens? Let's go get a drink. So Pete drinks more pre-kidney operation than most do in their lives.
Yeah, he's a lot of. Yeah, I don't know if maybe that kidney might be a bit of a dud.
Maybe that's he hates his brother. That's what it is.
That's what he's doing.
When they leave, Gopher is greeted by the little short hoggish man again. He's like, "Oh, you're joining us for the cruise, perhaps." And then Gopher.
I thought it was sold out.
Well, it was sold out.
Oh, until
before
they got
the
to
stop.
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
There are so many stops, and I mean, at the end of this thing, they all fly back to LA. So, like, ultimately. But why would you take this cruise post Panama Canal? Didn't you miss the good part?
Like, that's what I think. Like, what are you hopping on now for?
Yeah.
What do you? But wait a minute.
I'm glad there's 25,000 people. They're going the other way. They started in Los Angeles and went through the other way.
It's just okay.
Yeah.
Just.
I had that thought too. So
I'm like, what's the okay?
Yeah.
All right.
The little man says that he's
the hoggish man.
The hoggish little man is saying that he's gonna, perhaps be on there or whatever. But as they're sitting there talking, Gopher is looking at the map or whatever, and he realizes, wait a minute, they didn't say pilot, they said Pilot, which is a small village in Martinique.
Oh boy.
You can't wait to tell everybody, but also don't tell anybody. And the little hoggish man says, of course not. Your secret is safe with me. And as soon as Gopher goes, this guy just books it for the steps. I'm assuming he's never been on this ship.
No,
ever.
He's never. No.
And he is running and doing missions. It's like,
and this is not this man has a very short stride, so it's a lot of leg movement for this guy to run anywhere. He's no Mark Harmon.
It's funny. So we just kind of get that he's shooting down the steps. And then we get, sorry if it's not as great as the your favorite scene earlier, which you couldn't remember the words. We are now at maybe my favorite scene in the history of the words? Show. I have most of them written down, but yeah.
All right.
Merrill is coming down the steps and he runs into Doc. Doc's like, we're done for the night, hopefully.
I know where you're going. Okay.
And Merrill's like, hey, if you have a minute, I'd love to chat. So they sit down, the two of them just sit down, and he's like, Adam, can I get real with you? And Doc's like, oh, sure, of course.
Yeah, of course you can, because you called me Adam.
You're an able-bodied man, good doctor. What are you doing on the Love Boat? And Doc's like, well, first of all, I'm about to get my stubby. So he kind of he convies up.
Beverly Hills doctor or something.
Well, yeah, he says that eventually. Yeah. So basically, Doc's like, whew, tough question. Long story short, Doc said that he was striking out on shore, not professionally, but personally. And then when he came on the boat, he was basically looking to be unabandoned. And he's still looking for himself. But he kind of likes it. And yeah, this is where we find out Steuben kind of says that he was a Beverly Hills doctor. But yeah, it was just like, so basically Bricker's like, why are you asking me this? Well, and then he gives him the whole story about the job offer. So
how awesome, right? Like that whole Bricker thing that he said is just like somebody would say the same thing that's moving to Alaska just to get away from it all. And imagine a Bricker as a small town doctor in Alaska. Oh, come on. That would be.
It was just, I have said this consistently. It's my favorite thing they do. The only thing that's even close is really like the Isaac Gopher serious stuff.
Well, it's like the Bones and Captain Kirk.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
And it's like it was also, which we always love, kind of some background.
Yeah.
And
he give us layer. We love it. We love it. We know he's a Beverly Hills doctor. That's interesting.
Makes sense.
I think it sort of changes things a bit.
Yeah.
It just frames the narrative a lot better. It's interesting.
And it was a very quiet but serious thing. It felt very like, oh, this is a stage play. that these two are doing right
I
now.
liked it a lot. I will say I like the closeness that scene showed that they had. I really did enjoy that scene as well.
So it ends with Doc basically, much like he did, I think, when Steubing. It was when he went to the office. I can't remember why there was a decision. It was a Vicky related thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a lot of like, should I go to land or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Doc will never tell you what he thinks you should do.
No. He'll just frame it with his experience and then the lessons he's learned.
And so at the end, Steubing's like, Adam, and if I ever told you I like how much I really like you. And Doc's like, who can blame you? And he leaves. So
it's perfect. It's perfect.
Just a great. This is as good a Bernie Capel episode as we have had in a very 100%. Long time. And there's no real humor.
No.
Really, there's not a lot of that. Like it's just straight up acting. And it's really good. So I really liked that from both of them. So.
I thought Bricker was, I thought he was great.
All right, let's see. I know what happens. I'm just trying to find it. So Marcia and Pete are coming back from getting their drinks. Pete sees it. Pete's not happy. Sorry, Dave sees it. Dave's not happy. So we're getting that whole jealous thing, and he kind of takes Marcia off of the bit for a second. Gopher's talking to Pete about tomorrow, like kind of like stick with me and we'll be all right. And then Mike, out of nowhere, debris falls.
Here we go. You could have been,
Gopher, for the third straight week since hooking up with Julie, has had something terrible happen to him. So.
Doesn't it something that falls like if you're on a stage somewhere, like a giant sandbag? Like why would there be a giant sandbag above you on it? I don't understand. Where the hell would that come from on a ship?
Yeah, it was just kind of like, here's our box of junk. But
they're not on a tall ship. It's not like there's a bunch of ropes to cut. Like, what do you do? Like, I don't even understand what happened there.
So, of course, everybody gets unscathed. It just missed Gopher. Pete was there, didn't really come close to him, but here comes Sharon to kind of whisk him away, Secret Service style. Connie Stevens comes back from her boyfriend to see how Gopher's doing. She's like, oh, stuff like that must happen all the time. Not on this ship.
Not on this ship.
Not ever. And then Mike, who's just coming out of the shadows, is that little hoggish man.
There he is again.
And he's just like, you should be more careful. It's dangerous. And then he just
weird.
And then he just did he float away?
He floated away. What is man, this
I don't know. And again, it's like this guy's never on the boat. How the hell did he even reach anything?
I know he's 3 apples tall. Like where did he happen to have a sharp knife to cut a sandbag from above?
And also, like,
what are you doing?
So what? He talks to Gopher, runs downstairs, runs back up. Like, how did he know where they were going to be? It wasn't like he dropped it on the stage.
We've talked before. Like, he's got tiny little legs. Do you know how much leg motion he'd be super out of breath. He's not a that fast of a mover. No offense, Sorrel book, but I can't imagine. I mean, they never had Boss Hogg doing sprints on Dukes of Hazzard.
Yep.
So I can't imagine.
It would have been great if he drove his car onto the. I definitely had that match. I definitely had that Matchbox car.
Oh, same.
All right. I don't care about this. Roger comes to apologize to Julie and suggests that they should all get together. Julie doesn't think this is a great idea, but Roger kind of won't leave her alone. So they're all going to have dinner or something. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares?
Who cares? Yeah.
Welcome to Martinique. The land of the Beijing, was it Begin?
I know it's French. That's all I know.
It's more than just a dance, Mike. It's a way of life.
What, the lambada?
The Beijing. Apologies to all our French listeners.
Beignet?
Beignet.
It's like a donut thing?
Oh, he would think it was the land of that.
Mm.
All right. According to the voiceover that we get,
Another
Isaac
voiceover.
has joined us because he can speak French, and in Martinique, that's what you're going to need. Gopher's kind of giving out assignments. And so Isaac gets a pull on the fishing pole already. Like, he finds information out immediately. And Gopher is like, "Hey, let's get Mallory in here," because he doesn't have a headquarters in Martinique. I guess he's just walking around.
He hadn't figured one out yet. Ugh.
So they're like, we know where Mallory is, and so they take him to a graveyard. So I guess this episode is over.
They wrapped this one up. Well, it is what it is. Ends well, it ends well.
So Mallory is still a villain at this point. And he's like, "Well, I know my brother lived in the Caribbean, so it's probably him. But we'll have to make sure we know who's in there to be sure." So
let's exhume the grave. Let's dig him up. Jeez.
Luckily, right before they get the shovels, Connie Stevens has somehow found Mallory's housekeeper.
Just...
It really, I was joking at the beginning, ridiculous. But it is the level of Carmen Santiago in the way that, like, these clues are just being dropped in very conveniently. Like, how the hell did you find her housekeeper?
Well, they're almost going, they're looking at their watch and going, well, we have about 25 minutes left, so we're going to have to advance this storyline.
The housekeeper says that Tom did show up. She confirms that it's the brother, not the nephew, in the box. He showed up and got a box, and it was locked.
So what? 10 minutes later, if they had not seen her, this person, then what? Yeah. We're digging. We're in there.
We're digging.
Who's Connie Stevens digging, or is Dave Porter going to get a shovel in there?
That's where Dave.
That's where you need Dave Porter.
Exactly.
So we need help. His shirt's already off. Yeah,
he's digging something up anyway. It doesn't matter.
He's just for strength training. I'll do it.
What's in the box? We don't know. Pete and Marvin are very hot on their search, and they're striking out. But then Pete sees a locksmith. He knows the French word for locksmith. Which way to go, Pete?
Good job, Pete. You're a kidney and you speak French. Go ahead.
They go over and they find this odd man who is sitting outside of Pierre's locksmith store, not to be confused with Pierre's tuxedo shop.
His name is fucking Marcel Locksmith.
Marcel Locksmith, which is like stupid. Inventor of the locksmith.
Oh, he patented the phrase and the profession. Who are you? I'm Marcel.
Marcel Locksmith. I'm the French Johnny Locksmith.
It made me laugh so hard when I saw his name on the IMDb.
So this Walter Slezak, a noted character actor, they just gave him, like, I guess, here's 3 minutes, just do your bits.
Do your best French locksmith.
Right. So it's a lot of like, and then what? But basically, Pierre's dead. He's been dead for 12 years. Marcel Locksmith is, in fact, the current locksmith, but he can't get into the store because he's locked out. And they're like, well, you're a locksmith. He's like, yeah, but I can't make a key because I'm locked out and all my tools are in there. Womp, fine. The Carmen Sandiego of it all is that, yes, in fact, he did make a key for Tom to open up that box. And then afterwards, Tom used the phone next door. And because Marcel Locksmith is also Marcel Eavesdropper, he found out that Tom was heading to Puerto Rico.
Because Marcel Locksmith had all the phones bugged.
I apologize. He is not heading to Puerto Rico. I jumped the clue.
Oh, don't do that.
He is heading to the Blue Beard Hotel in St. Thomas.
Oh, we know it well.
We do know
that place.
Pete's like, this plot doesn't make any sense. I'm going to hang back. JJ, you go on the boat. I'll meet you guys later. Fine. Vicky got a fun hat. Charlie sees it and he's like, oh, boy, I tell you one thing. If you like Martinique. You know, you'd
I
really
didn't like
like
this. I didn't like this at all.
Why? Because he's giving the hard sell to the daughter?
Yeah, he's predatory. I didn't like it.
Well, it didn't work.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
It's one fatal flaw. You should have never. Steubing wasn't going to tell Vicky. So.
He should. Yeah. Charlie Donut, Charlie Danger, whatever his name is. He should. If he would have avoided Vicky, I think he would have signed Stewie.
Basically, he starts talking about how he lives in New York and how great New York is. I think Vicky at one point says it's the pants or the inns or I couldn't some 80s term, weird. Whatever. Yeah. But he's basically hyping up New York, and then Steubing shows up, and Charlie is like, "Oh, you should talk to your father about this." So after Steubing figures out what they were talking about, and he obviously knows what the reason was, he's like, "Well, would you like New York?" And she likes the parks and the museums and the taxis.
Oh yeah, that's one of the
Statue
items.
The Statue of Liberty.
Sure.
Steubing retorts with the subways, the crowds, and the noise. It's funny because 1980 New York subways were definitely probably what you thought they were.
Yeah, you're gonna go get killed down there. Absolutely.
I generally, as a Philadelphian, hate New York, but I will say that subway system is amazing. So
absolutely, absolutely.
It is a selling
it's better
point
than our old. Yeah,
it certainly is
faithful.
It certainly is. So, but this gives Steubing more pause because now his daughter is excited about NYC. And he threw out his best defense. Noise.
It's the
Grinch.
That's what you're going to go with?
And noise?
Okay, that's the selling point, huh? Or okay. Point of contention is noise. All right.
The Quest crew is at the bar. Marvin is drinking STP. Shirley Temple.
That's what I'm talking about.
He always drinks when he's on his case. Sharon comes in because they can't find Pete. Marvin doesn't say what Pete told him. It doesn't seem like
no.
So
nope.
Marvin just decides to go into a whole thing about how who knows who will be, murdered tomorrow.
Yeah, someone's going to be, yeah.
When they go to St. Thomas. Gopher spots the hoggish man in the bar, who, by the way, was introduced. His actual name was introduced back at the cemetery as Lucius. Was it Cargo?
Cargo.
It's weird that Gopher is so cool with the guy who he is determined tried to kill him earlier. But
yeah, I don't.
He works for Steubing though, so I guess he's all right with it. As Marvin kind of does his, any one of us could disappear next. They do a villain shot for Lucius and go to commercial. To your point, nothing's really happening here.
Nothing's happening.
All right, this is the actual worst part. So Mallory approaches Janet on the deck, and he apologizes for hitting her in the face. And she's like, Brian Mallory apologized? Not I can't believe you fucking hit me in the face.
She made it all snappy. Yeah. Who would ever thought that you would? Yeah. You remember he just cold cocked you just scenes ago.
He tries to what I feel like is retcon his actions around the death of his brother, but he did all this before he knew his brother was dead.
Yeah.
So I'm calling BS on that.
Yeah, just nonsense. He got off way too easy.
This is enough, though. Not only is Janet wow, you're pretty nice. She gives him that photo that Isaac took, that she took off the bulletin board.
Why would she do that?
How would she know what Tom looked like?
I have no idea why.
How would she know to go get that?
She wouldn't even know who it is.
The only thing I can, I didn't care enough about that part to double check, but did she overhear Gopher and Isaac talking? And when she left, she literally booked down the hallway.
What? It makes there's no logical reason for it.
Yeah, I didn't,
because she wouldn't know. She would have no idea who that person is.
Exactly. I didn't. Welcome to the island of St. Thomas. Meryl is talking to the taking the views when Charlie shows up. Charlie's like, it's beautiful, isn't he? He's like, yeah, I'm taking it all in because this is my last cruise. He's taking the job, Mike. This is Gavin McLeod's last episode of The Love Boat.
That's I didn't see this coming so soon.
Weird that Meryl says this is his last cruise. Do they not give 2 weeks notice on the
No kidding. He didn't even give an hour's notiess.
How many ships need a captain now?
Yeah, I'm getting off the boat actually now in St. Thomas. Good Lord.
It just drifts.
He's not even going back to LA. He's just going right to New York from St. Thomas. Terrible.
We get some faint St. Thomas facts with Gopher, mainly about why it's called the Virgin Islands. I did not care enough to write them down.
Nope. Doesn't matter to me.
We do get to see Bluebeard's
Bluebird
castle.
Of Happiness?
Of course, this is the same place that. I was gonna sing it. So this of course is where Brian and Myrna had their salacious affair in episode 2 this season that led to Don Most's mustache getting to hook up with Charlene Tilton. So
that's it.
Was not the shady Roach Motel we thought it was going to be.
No, I don't know. Yeah, maybe there's 2 of them. I don't know.
Connie Stevens was very impressed by it, and JJ even said it was kind of frou-frou.
Yeah.
Gopher ran into somebody who told them that there's been somebody else snooping around for Tom Mallory, and he thinks it's going to be Lucius Kurgo. Turns out it's Pete. Pete lost track of time, probably drunk somewhere in Martinique, got a plane and flew on to St. Thomas. Man, you could just get a plane for like $4 back then.
Everything is just, yeah. There's a lot of, so much going on this cruise. This is crazy.
So
planes and kidneys and just.
Well, luckily Pete hung around.
Yeah.
Because he got some connections and he met up with a Father Brierly, who's got some information about Tom. So Father Brierly, who reminds me a lot of a steward we used to know.
Yeah, he looks like he used to work on a cruise ship.
Yeah. Tells them that Tom, he knew Tom back in the States and that he came to him and now he's a member of the church and he's a fine young man. Mallory starts pumping him for information. He finds out that he went to Puerto Rico. It seemed like Mallory wanted to say more, but Pete kind of cut him off and said that's all he knows. And so Mallory's like, well, I guess we're going to Puerto Rico. And so they all kind of go off and the priest kind of tips his hat and heads out.
We got to keep the cruise going.
That's true. What are you going to stop?
Yeah, what are the odds he's going to be at the last stop?
Right,
well,
exactly.
Convenient.
Yeah.
Very convenient.
So as the quest crew kind of goes one way, guess who shows up to split a cab with the father? It's that damn Lucius Kurgo.
Again, that little hog man. Mm-hmm.
So Lucius Kurgo murders Sanderson, right? Like in the cab. Absolutely like cuts him up. It's so
within
bad.
2 seconds. He's going to drop a sandbag on him from somewhere.
Yeah. So I assume Anderson is dead. So I don't understand what I'm not going to spend a lot of time analyzing exactly what happened, but it's like, what information did he get from the priest? Because he still had to follow the quest crew to the church. So
it's very confusing. It's like they didn't let's not give the viewer any details or any. It was very odd.
Isaac and his loose lips tell Vicky about the captain's tough decision. Fine. This is just so you know, everything is now going the wrong way. So, speaking of, Roger tracks down Maud, who's pissed, and Maud basically is like, you're out. I saw you talking to Julie in the lobby. Roger stupidly gave Julie a kiss on the cheek, which, I mean, dude, come on.
What are you read
doing?
the room a little bit? Like Maud is clearly all fired up, dummy.
Maud tosses him. Roger asks for scotch, a bottle, just leave the straw. So Roger's going to get his drink on tonight. All right. Let's see. Pete checks in with the with everybody, and he kind of says that, because Gopher's like, Pete, you know more than you're saying, and Pete's like, yeah, but I don't want to tell Mallory. So Pete doesn't trust Mallory anymore. And the main reason is because the priest told him exactly where Tom is. So
right.
Pete has clearly become the alpha of this mission. So Pete heads back to his cabin, and Sharon takes the time to thank him for letting her tag along. Sharon, in classic stalker fashion, has the cabin directly across the hall from
That's
Pete.
so convenient.
Very convenient.
All right.
We get a couple more of those labored things about him. Really glad that your kidney's going to be in my life and all this stuff or whatever. They both say goodnight. Pete does the pause on the other side of the door, opens it up, and then just says sweet dreams. 2 hours, they did not make me care about Pete and Sharon's relationship.
No,
so,
it was so...
And I like Pete.
I like Pete too.
So I don't know what you could have done to fix it, so they really should have just dumped it.
It was just a throwaway.
Mallory is back on the deck again, comparing the sunlight to their wedding day. Janet's like, Jesus, 2 of these? Seriously?
Yeah, how much sherry have you had? Good Lord, this isn't Brian Mallory like.
He blames the sun for making him soft, and he heads off because, you know what? It's too late. Too late anyway. It doesn't matter. Doc is right behind, so clearly he was supposed to meet Janet.
He sees now.
He sees and he heard, and he's like, boy, he still loves you, you know. No, Doc, this is why I assume Doc does not know that he hit her. So
yeah, because he would have. Yeah, I agree.
So Doc is trying to be the bigger man, and he's kind of standing down. They both talk about the new Brian versus the old Brian, which, to your point, is like 11 years of horrible versus 36 hours of slightly less horrible.
Maybe.
Most of the things he said were just apologizing for the awful things he did.
Well, because you hit her 2 days ago, everything's cool now. I'm a new man. 48 hours later, Brian Mallory.
So Janet gets one last smooch in because, of course, she does.
Of course she does. Why not?
All right, Julie gets a knock on the door. It's late. It's Roger. He's drunk, although he's not cartoony drunk, which made it actually more confusing. They really should have just played him more drunk than he did.
They should have had him absolutely hammered. Yeah, 100%.
He's talking to Julie about how Maud threw him out. Now my life is ruined. I'll never get married, and I have all these kids. And then Julie's like, no, you'll find somebody, whatever. And he like takes off his jacket and jumps in bed. Not with Julie, like literally just jumps in bed.
Right.
And passes out. And I only noticed this on my third watch, which was just because we had some time in between the episode. They do like almost dream sequence music underneath it, which I don't know why.
That's weird.
Yeah, who cares? But basically, Julie tries to wake him up. He doesn't wake up. And this somehow justifies a commercial break. I don't know. So,
what will Julie do? You know?
Even worse, they come back for Act 8's commercial break with him being passed out. Julie has left and gotten dressed. Where did Julie sleep? Tub?
On deck, Paul Williams suite. Absolutely.
Gotcha.
She's
Infirmary?
not taking any chances. So, no infirmary. It's I mean, I'm guessing Janet's there. Well, she seems to forgive very quickly.
That's true.
So maybe.
She comes back, tries to wake him up, leaves again. Roger wakes up as soon as she leaves, and now he thinks that they hooked up last night. Calls her a little devil. Awesome sauce. Vicky tracks down Stoobs on the deck, or on the bridge, I think. and asks if he's made a decision about New York. He said yes, probably. And she's like, if you have any doubts, can I just say my piece? So Vicky's logic here is that she's 13 and that in a few years she'll be making her own life decisions. And so therefore, her father, her guardian, should not make decisions that concern her. He should make decisions that are best for him.
Yeah, don't put your children first. Isn't that what you're supposed to do as a parent, essentially? And especially if your kids go, hey, look, I know I'm only 13, but this is what I think. And then you go, you know what? You have had enough life experience to really make a valid point. Come on.
Now, do you think Vicky is playing 3D chess in that she's got the sweet boat life? She's not going to school.
She doesn't want to go anywhere. Why would she want to leave that?
Yeah, if she goes to New York, it's over. She's going to go to a real school and all that stuff.
All that noise?
Noise.
Just tons of noise. You don't want that.
So, this is it. This wins. This is almost verbatim the speech a couple weeks ago when she told him, "Don't worry about Debbie Reynolds. I don't need a mom. You should be happy." So
it was like a Mad Libs.
Two-part Vicky stinks. They neuter the character by trying to make her something she's really not.
Tell you what, first episode Brian Mallory is a hell of a lot stronger than episode, second hour of Brian Mallory. It's terrible.
The Quest crew is
Puerto Rico, right?
Oh, well, that's right. They're making a deal. Sorry, there's so many important facts here I don't want to miss. They're making a deal with Mallory. I don't understand this deal either. So basically, they're like, we want to make a deal. We know where Tom is, and Mallory immediately thinks, justifiably, that they're going to jack him up for more money.
Sure.
But they just want to know why they're searching for Tom. See, Tom has never mentioned an uncle to the person in the laundry room, so therefore, something must be up.
Yeah, let's ask now.
Yeah. After we spent all this time.
After we've been to like 4 different islands. Yeah, let's ask now.
After we almost got killed by Boss Hogg.
That's right.
So turns out Mallory wants the Mallory trinket or pendant or diamond or treasure or whatever they end up calling it in the episode. But it was entitled to the eldest surviving Mallory, which is him. And he figured that his brother would never give it to him. And so when the brother died, he needed to track down Tom to track down the treasure. The crew is like very thin.
Very thin.
And the crew is like, okay, here's the deal. We'll tell you where he is, but you have to let him make the decision if he gives it back to you or not. Which
was he going to steal it? Like, what are you going to roll in there, kick him in the chest, and take the pendant? Like, what?
I mean, I would slap him. He's got a good right.
Right. Like, I don't.
Okay. Yeah. This.
Well, this is why he was going to dig him up. He was after this pendant.
He's going to dig. I'm digging somebody up.
It's like an episode of like Raiders of the Lost Ark on the Love Boat. You've got Lucius Cargo is that weird guy that burns his hand and heals it in the snow. All these weird treasure hunt, but no real treasure.
The worst part of all of this is as he's kind of telling the story, Connie Stevens at one point is like, so you didn't really care about Tom at all.
Right.
And he's like, honestly, no. And Janet is in the corner looking at him and giving these weird smiles and everything. Like everything is great in one of the worst turns I've ever seen. Like just
he must be drugging Janet Mallory or has her hypnotized.
She might be concussed, from when he hit her in the face.
Yeah, when he did hit her in the face. That's odd, man.
All right. Roger is still in Julie's room now. He's thinking they're gonna get married and everything. And here comes Maude. And Julie, again, doing her best to salvage this thing, is quick on her feet. And she's like, the only way I'm going to get rid of this idiot is if I basically tell Maude that she was right. And so Julie goes into about 2 minutes of just saying how she threw himself at Roger, and Maud, you sussed it out immediately, and you were right. And I tried and I tried, but he would not. He would not stop talking about you. And this works.
Because Maud's dumb.
Because Maud's dumb, and so is Roger. And they leave, and after Maud's kind of like they're there to Julie or whatever, and Julie's like, thank God. Well played by Julie. The season of Julie continues, despite they gave her some real trash this week. So,
well, it's not like they gave her gold last week in her big.
No.
Come on.
She's doing great. It's absolutely my favorite part of the season so far is that we've gotten great Julie the first 4 episodes. All right. Okay. So speaking of terrible, let's go to the end here. So, welcome to Puerto Rico. Make sure you bring your custom declarations to the Carousel Lounge, which doesn't sound like a very official thing to do.
That doesn't sound right at all. Wouldn't you go to customs?
I don't know. Where's that custom agent that gave Gopher all that crap a few years ago?
Weird.
The Quest crew is in a blue van heading towards Tom. Sounds like Pete called ahead, and Tom knows they're coming, and he's going to leave the gate unlocked. Welcome to the Monastery of the Brothers of St. Stephen. It's a beautiful building. Right behind the blue van and the Quest crew is Kurgo in a cab, I guess?
He's everywhere.
Doing some hellacious voiceover.
He's just omnipresent.
Follow that blue van, but not too close. Stop here. I'm getting out. I'm getting out of the van.
Awful.
Then he speaks
One
Spanish
of the worst
on the way
I've
out.
ever seen.
Then he speaks Spanish on the way out, which is fine.
It's crazy.
So the crew heads in to where they think they have to go. Kurgo runs up the steps as much as he can. His little legs run up the steps.
Run is an optimistic term for Mr. Kurgo.
So they're all kind of at the bottom of the landing. Kurgo's at the top, and he announces that he's locked the gate. I've locked the gate so no one can get in. Thanks, Kurgo.
Thanks, appreciate it. Thank you.
So he basically explains, because I got the impression Mallory knew who he was.
Yeah.
So Kurgo was partners with Mallory's brother, and he would not stop talking about this damn pendant. So as soon as Tom Mallory Sr. kicked, Kurgo was like, to the grave. he tried to get it, but young Tom had gotten there ahead. So now he's gonna go meet young Tom Mallory and get that diamond. Thanks everybody for all your help leading me to him. Also, I have a gun. Stay where you are, but I'm not gonna do anything to ensure that you stay where you are.
No. This gun is loaded with sand, as we've seen before.
Pretty much.
Fool me twice, shame on you.
All right, I'm going Skywalker, going to the Death Star. I'm going off notes at this point. See what I remember. Yeah. So, Kurgo goes up the steps. He locks a gate behind him at one point, which kind of traps the crew for a while. But of course, Dave can rip a gate off, basically. Kurgo gets to Brian. Kurgo gets to Tom Mallory, and we get the classic acting styles of old Greg Robies, where it's like, Uncle Brian. and Boss Holly's like, no, it's me, Lucius Kurgo. I've come for the jewels. So he says he takes it, and I guess Tom at one point tries to do something, and Kurgo just gives him an uppercut or something, and he runs or hobbles or hogs or whatever.
Gallops, skips. Yeah.
So this guy tracked these guys down from one island to the next, tried to kill them at least once, has all these, he said he cased the church multiple times, but he didn't have a getaway car.
The whole thing is just...
So his plan is, because of course the crew has busted down the gate and they're now in the room, So he goes running. Well, they're going to catch you, man. You're tiny.
You're 3 feet tall. Like, you're not outrunning anybody. Come on.
So he just tries to run through. It's not even a street festival. It's just kind of like the street. And Marvin and Gopher catch him, knock the gun away. And that's it. That was this villainous plan ending. Just run. The smallest man run away with the jewel. So they give it back to Tom. Tom gives it to his uncle because it's rightfully his. And then Janet giving Brian one right in the gut. What were you going to do with it, Tom? So Tom was going to sell it and open up a clinic because Mike, couple things.
He's good. He's a good guy. He's the anti Brian Mallory.
Well, Mike, this might be paradise, but even in paradise, there are poor.
Oof.
But don't worry. We Mallorys are resilient.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Well, once again, the son has gotten to Brian Mallory, and he gives the trinket back.
Which undoes this entire
episode. Right. Exactly. Yeah. And then Tom says that it was a real honor to meet you. I don't know why. Like, are you a big reader? Like, why else? He wanted to dig your dad up.
Here's my asshole uncle, Brian Mallory. I've heard all about you.
All right, let's get out of here. Act 9. If you want to fly back to Los Angeles, you can from Puerto Rico, which makes a lot of sense. So, like, do they just leave the boat here? They probably just leave the boat here. So I bet you even the crew is flying back, right?
Yeah.
So that's it. So that made sense. I did like that piece of logic, at least. I don't think that happened with the marriage-a-thon.
No, it didn't. Well, no, because they went to L.A.
Well, he had that big network deal.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Isaac tells Gopher what a nice thing it was that he donated the money to Tom's clinic. Turns out they all donated the money that Mallory gave them. Gopher sounds like he got peer pressured into it, and he is not happy about it. Charlie is bummed out that Steubing is not taking the job, and he actually realizes that he probably should have offered the job to Vicky instead. Fair. Let's see. Sharon got a cablegram from Pete's brother, who says that he no longer needs the kidney transplant.
Of course.
Which is that a thing?
No, it's not a thing unless you get a different donor. I mean, or it gets so bad they have to remove it and like put you on dialysis. Yeah. I mean.
But he also put on the cablegram, "I'm breaking up with you because I'm sleeping with my nurse." Interesting cablegram.
That's a lot. That's a heavy hitting cablegram right there. ...
Pete decides that, well, if you were going to have my kidney, you might as well have my hand, and he proposes to Sharon based on absolutely nothing. Just terrible. Maud tells Julie that Roger has proposed and they're going to get married in Puerto Rico. Julie laughs because Maud doesn't know about the 10 kids that she's going to have to shoot out. This is so terrible.
Yeah, let's just get to the end of this thing. We're going to be here for 5 hours tonight.
The Mallorys are leaving. Brian Mallory allows Janet to say goodbye to Doc. Doc's kind of bummed out because he was a nice guy. But, you know, he finished second. That's where nice guys finish. And finally, everybody's getting off the boat. And they all do the goodbye wave shot to the Mallorys, of course, because that's who deserves it.
Of course, because there's someone you want to cheer for in the end.
Right. And that is Carmen Santiago for this week. So. All right. Totals and a recap. Best episode, episode 1. First episode was the first two-parter at the Caribbean. Mike, what do you got?
No. That's what I got. No.
This is worse?
This is the worst episode I've ever seen. In the 4 seasons plus, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. None of the stories ended up meaning anything. There were no consequences for actions. They just threw stuff to get horrible. From top to bottom, every storyline was terrible. Awful. There's no way that we're going to see especially a 2 hours of this awfulness. Worst episode funny. I've ever seen.
I'm not going to argue with your points. I thought that episode's two-parter was worse because of the chaos and all that stuff. And I do think there was some decent stuff in the first part of this.
Sure.
But you're 100% right in the fact that we just wasted our time.
Well, the second hour, they just undid what they did in the first hour.
They really did. So I almost think like it's hysterical because last year our best 2 episodes were the two-parters. I think at this point we carry the two-parters forward as the worst episodes.
1,000%.
Yeah, which is wild. And we are, but it's funny.
It's the beginning of the season, Mike, too. We're not off to a good start here.
Well, we're not off to a good start. They're all bad, but they're all wild swings bad. So at least there's that. There hasn't been anything boring.
Listen, I'm not awarding any points for these wild swings because it's just fair. What the hell? We had a good thing going. We operated in the Pacific Ocean. Episodes were 44 minutes long. We had a good thing going. We kept it snappy and it was fun. And then the 4th hour of the Caribbean crew, enough already. Can we just get back to normal? This episode's got 20 guest stars. Like, enough. The formula works. Just stop. I'm glad we get back to normal. Right. Oh, wait, we don't because we have a 90-minute episode next week. Shit. Just killing me.
Captain of the week.
No. No. I refuse to participate in Captain of the Week. There is no. No way.
All right. Well, I will take Doc, who I thought was very good.
If I had to say somebody, it would be Doc, but I can't even open my brain to that. It's
fair enough. Worst of the week, walk the plank.
The whole episode is walk the plank. Everybody involved. At first, I was like, "Oh, Lucius Cargo," but no, he didn't deserve that. Everybody deserves it. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. Everybody deserves everyone get off the boat. Everybody get on the plank and walk off the boat. Ridiculous. Worst thing I've ever seen. How many episodes is this? What are we? 81?
81.
Just a stinkeroo. Who's your walk the plank? Who did you isolate to?
I had Maud and Roger because I thought that was a terrible storyline.
It is. The whole thing. Ugh.
But to your point, like the fact that everything ended terribly is really.
They undid everything. I feel like I wasted my time.
I agree, and luckily we wasted a lot of time.
Oh, we did waste a lot of time.
Anyway, that's Totals and a Recap for this week.
Whoo, plugs. Hidden Season Patreon, absolutely hammered. Whether you're cheering from the stands or tuning in from home, this is the podcast you need. Grab your bat, your cap, your Phillies pride, crack open a beer, and enjoy a weekly Phillies happy hour with Chris Jones, Justin Clue, and our very own Mike Robertson. Jump in, hit subscribe, and make Absolutely Hammered part of your game day routine. Catch it now on the Hitting Season Patreon. A little update to the... you can find us everywhere you find your audio podcasts. If you would, just hit that subscribe button. Leave us a review. It goes a long way. We also have a video podcast on YouTube. No mail this week, Mike. Not that we have mail or we don't have mail. I physically do not have it in me to read any email.
Fair enough.
In this state of anger.
Yeah.
I did look ahead to next episode, Mike.
The final of our marathon stretch is next week. What do we got?
Mike, looks like we have a few early nominations in the season for Best Animal Stubby. As we welcome a couple of horses and Alvin McNair to the boat.
Oh, McNair.
Also, Robert Stack and the Village People.
I forgot about the Village People.
Shit, Mike. It's not looking good. We're
going to
have
looking best, good. What are you talking about? Best animal, best music.
Young man, what if they don't perform? What if they don't sing?
Stack's going to be great.
He's going to solve something. That's what he's going to do.
If you or anyone else wants to watch that episode.
Episode 82.
Well, we apologize for these episodes going so long. I really thought I was zipping through, but there's just so much garbage in here.
The entire World Cup tournament has passed by in the course of this episode.
No kidding. Congratulations to on the blank.
Yeah, blank.
All right. Well, we're out of the Caribbean. We're getting closer to just, as Mike said, normal Pacific 44-minute episodes. But this was a weird one, and I don't think we'll ever have one like this again. Which, according to at least one of us, is very good. So, thanks for joining. Thanks everybody for listening. We will talk to you again in July for some horses. It sounds like, but until then, the Caribbean is closed.
Goodbye.